today we are going to be covering Desa Park City and Country Heights versus Country Heights, right? So that's the Battle Royale, but the focus will be largely on Desa Park City, right? So I think the numbers that we are presenting tonight, I think will shock a lot of people. All right, will shock a lot of people, and be quite interesting, right? So has anyone here bought any property in Desa Park City? So before I start, right? Anyone here bought own property in Desa Park City? Not yet. Okay. All right. So Desa Park City has never been affordable back in 2004, right? It's not affordable in 2010. It wasn't affordable in 2015. It wasn't affordable in 2020. It's certainly not affordable in 2024. Right? So that's Desa Park City lah, basically. Basically, why are we doing this? Number one, we're hoping to be able to go and provide you guys with an independent guide, anyone looking to buy property in Desa Park City. All right? Idea is to give you full information so they can get full point of view, provide shortcut, anyone looking at properties in this area, guide tenants and future buyers in Desa Park City, demonstrate how you can avoid expensive mistake, buying the wrong property. And obviously, for example, there's a lot of things that we're going to say, always has been in our past Battle Royale, right? Whereby, we say controversial stuff without any filter, right? Some developers have gone very unhappy lah with the content that we put, right? So, one day if we kena saman, right, from producing content macam ni, you guys tong-tong lah, save Faizul fun, gitu, right? So, this is why, next, what can you expect to learn tonight, right, in this 2-hour, hopefully, sharing session, right? So, I hope we can wrap it in 2 hours, right? So, number one, understand the concept tiering before you buy anything, right? Number two, I think tonight there'll be a very clear demonstration buying township development versus non-township properties. Okay. Number three, you will also find out why the lack of new supply matters a lot, right? Why the lack of new supply matters a lot. Number four, why USP matters a lot, right? Number five, why timing matters, right? To the point, okay? You can buy a 600,000 property and you can make a 2 million ringgit profit. So normally you buy a 2 million ringgit property, you make a 600,000 profit. But if you can get your timing right, guys, you buy a 600,000 property and you can make a 2 million ringgit profit. Okay. Then last part is that going to be the Battle Royale, whereby we're going to review properties, right? In the Desa Park City, Country Heights, whereby we're going to see which one is going to be the best buy. And last but not least, right, our guide, our recommendation, and our POV on whether can people still make money from buying Desa Park City moving forward. So this is what you can expect to learn tonight, right? So disclaimer, like I said, our job is to present you data and the truth and the facts. If you're not happy with it, not really our problem, right? Not really our problem. Who asked you to not use data and facts before you buy? So we're going to cover a little bit about Tier 1. So Desa Park City is basically part of Tier 1. And this is basically the guide and indicator of what makes a Tier 1 property Tier 1. Okay? So rental above 5,000 ringgit is common. You got mixed nationalities, right, amongst international communities, right? 1,000 per square foot for high rise is very normal. 700 ringgit per square foot. For old high rise is also quite normal. Then normally house prices, if you're talking about landed, starts from about 2 million ringgit, and new launches above 1,000 ringgit per square foot is normal, right? So these are basically guide and indicator of what Tier 1 is. So Desa Park City is clearly part of tier 1, right? If you understand what people are asking for today in Desa Park City, right? And next, and Desa Park City is basically part of tier 1 property in Kuala Lumpur or KL, right? And it's basically a new entry of tier 1 in Kuala Lumpur. So I remember in 2010, 2011, people are still questioning why people pay crazy price point to buy 700,000, 800,000 gated and guarded landed property in Desa Park City, right? In Kepong, in Jinjang, right? So back then it was named as Desa Park City, but people associate it with Kepong, Jinjang, Sri Damansara. And all of the landed property double story at that point of time in these areas are like $500,000 and below. And here these guys are crazy, right? Asking 700,000, right? For a link house. Someone got 800 ringgit maintenance fee, very expensive. So today, Desa Park City, very clear, tier 1 property, right? That meets all of the guide and the requirement that we have said in the slide before, as far as tier 1 is concerned. Okay, so that's just a revisit lah. So now I'm going to hand over the floor, right, to LB and Zairi, who will be presenting before we go to Battle Royale, right? So floor is yours, guys.
So I will take over the part first. So just to give you guys a brief how Desa Park cities and the border. So in this slide, you can see Desa Park City is being labeled in the red color lah. So basically, yes, it's associated with Kepong because this was actually situated next to Kepong Menjalara. So it was renamed to a township named Desa Park City. So the one that actually separated Country Heights Damansara and also Desa Park City is our NKV highway lah. So Country Heights Damansara is just next to our LDP highway. So this is the definition of Desa Park City near border. So Desa Park City is actually a master plan. So this is their Desa Park City near master plan. So you can see they come with a low-rise residential, can be a bungalow link house terrace, and also high-rise residential. They have commercials as well. The well-known one is Plaza Arcadia, where people go for eateries, foods. They also have the waterfronts in the area. They also have recreational parks where they are famous for being pet friendly over this area, making this Desa Park City a quite a successful township for this one. So currently, all of the new launches or the latest launches come with high rise. As for now, there's no low rise or bungalow link house being introduced in this master plan as per today. So continue from here. So this is the Desa Park community. So this is Plaza Arcadia, and this is the waterfronts mainly for their commercial activities. So making it something special as well. They come with central parks where people go for joggings, enjoy the recreational area of this area, making this an on-stay kind of vibe. So they come with international school as well, called International Schools Park City. And also within this small township area, they have also their medical center called Park City Medical Center. And to cater with these bungalow landeds where they don't have really great facility like high-rise condos, right? They also come with their own clubhouse services as well. So this is the Desa Park City community lah. So I passed, this is the investment part. So when we talk about investment, we always talk about 7 criteria, so we never go wrong. So we will discuss about this area, about the median, new and old prices, tiering, and multiple rental options in this area to see whether how this park would actually makes money, or did it actually makes money, how much it make from the last time. Okay, so I will pass the flooring to Zari to describe about the transactions part.
Okay, thank you, Abby. Hi, everyone. Zari here. Okay, yeah, Desa Park City. I have a friend that actually is a pro Desa Park City lah. I always be positive on Desa Park City. I believe Desa Park City have their own fan as much as Mont Kiara. So it's like 2 different areas where they have their own hardcore fans. So my friend who is a hardcore of the Desa Park City always say that it's those who made it in life stays in Desa Park City. So yeah, and I don't actually agree on that initially, but when I look into the data, yeah, it is actually is in the millions. In fact, more than 70% of the transactions is above 1 million. Yeah, so you don't get it in other areas where majority of the transactions is above 1 million. And here we are, when looking at the semi-D and bungalow, specifically, and comparing to the areas like Country Heights, here we can see that Desa Park City shines really well, right? You can see that 3 stories bungalow is 7.6 million to 8.8 million. And it's not a new bungalow. You can see here is 2005, so means that is already close to 20 years old, but it's already currently fetching above 1,000 ringgit per square foot per square foot land and per square foot build up. So that's for the bungalow, right? The size of the land you can see is quite small. You can see it's only for the 2 stories is 3,000 plus. The 3 stories is 6,000 plus square feet, right? Comparing to Country Heights, most of the Country Heights bungalow, it's 10,000 to 18,000 square feet of land size. But however, you can see Country Heights, the median price is quite close to Desa Park City bungalow median price. So yeah, here we see the 3 stories of Desa Park City is around 8 million, but and also Country Heights is all 7.6 million. But you can see the size is almost double than Desa Park City. So Desa Park City land is about half of the Country Heights land. So the median per square foot of land for Country Heights is only 640 ringgit per square foot, while in Desa Park City is about 1,200 ringgit per square foot land. So it's about double of the price for Desa Park City and Country Heights. So these 2 areas is where it really shows that an area gathered township, integrated township, well-planned township can actually price much higher than compared to a gathered non-planned township, where Country Heights, most of the area plot of land, they are selling as a bungalow lot. So doesn't have much inside Country Heights comparing to the Smart City lah. So we touched just now, the Smart City have a lot of amenities inside, including schools and all. Country Heights doesn't have it. So you can see here, even the bungalow price is absolute price is bigger, is about the same, but the land size is much bigger for that price. Okay, here is where the demand is in the Smart City. Comparing to high rise, there's actually more transactions of terrace houses. The median price for terrace houses in the Smart City is 2.8 million. All right. Back then, it wasn't cheap either, right? It's still expensive during that time. And today as well, for terrace house is 2.8 million. I can say is the most expensive terrace house in the whole of Malaysia as of today. All right. And most of the demand is coming for the 3 stories of terrace houses. And if you can see here from the timeline, most of the terrace houses was built on the west side of the Smart City which is closer to the around the park, right? So only the one I highlighted, mentioned Kasaman, Amelia Gardens, which is after 2009, they are building it on the hillside, which is on the east side of the Desa Park lah. So those developments which is built on the east side is actually transacted much higher lah. You can see the mention Kasaman and Amelia Gardens for the 3 stories is transacted close to 4 million to 5.5 million in median. All right. And the price per square foot of land is also exceeding 2,000 ringgit per square foot, especially dimensions, right? So there's also, it means that on the east side of the Desa city, the terrace houses is priced much higher, right, compared to the west side of it. But however, the price per square foot of land and price per square foot of build up, even though the build up is big, if you can see, for example, the build up of Kasaman and dimension for the 3 stories is above 4,000 square feet, right? Still, the per square foot build up is above 1,200 ringgit per square foot. All right, and there are not many developments, not many units of terrace which is priced per square foot build up below 1,000 ringgit per square foot. There are only few in Zinia and Safar. Right, so here you can see a terrace house in Malaysia, right, can price, not a bungalow, right, because bungalow price per square foot of build up is normal to have above 1,000 ringgit per square foot, right? Because usually the land is big, so the price is expensive. But here is just a terrace house, the price per square foot of a build up can reach above 1,000 ringgit per square foot. So yeah, it is really high, right? I could say it's really expensive. You can debate about it, whether the price is going to go up high or not. But here you can see also those developments back in 2004, like for example, Safa, up until 2006, up until Nadia, right? Those developments is also, for example, the 2 stories is resetted above 2.2 million onwards, right? And there are not much difference in terms of those developments in 2004 versus those developments in 2009 or 2014. So the price difference is not much, right? Probably around 20% only or less. So, and those old houses is really well maintained, right? It's guarded, it's well maintained. So the price is also exceeding 2 millions even for the 2-story terrace houses. Okay, so, and one of the most expensive one I would say is the mansion in Desa city, which is located on the east side. For the 3.5 stories, is reaching 8 to 9 million already. All right, and that's price per square foot of land is 2,400, close to 2,500 per square foot. So that's the most expensive that Desa city sells over the price per square foot for land. Right, so there's that's really conclude what's priced in Desa city. Okay, next.
Yeah, Azari.
All right.
Iheng, Sean, what do you think, man? When you look at this.
Regret lah. So I was around Damansara, opposite when the first phase was launched. So that time I'm still studying. My aunts and my uncle are already investors. So they go in Mandarin terms, this development where got people sell so expensive and sell 100,000 Kepong house. You Sri Damansara, then how much? Then only like about 500 only. Sri Damansara. Then that time the clubhouse around the Artivo side was still there, the swimming pool, private clubhouse, and was very exclusive already. And I visited Zernia. I visited which one are Zernia and a few more. And when 700,000 goes to 1.8, the agent's grandfather bought. Then the whole family called him stupid. Then they sold 2.8. Then still got people buy. Then now looking at the price, right? No, I still can go higher. Wow. Wow. What a unicorn.
I think I remember when during COVID times, 2020, I think the smallest unit, for example, in Nadia Park Homes, they are selling about 1.6 that time. So even in the span of 4 years time, it's already increased about 600K. or 5 to 600K already.
Mm.
So I think it accelerates quite a bit after COVID, where the demands for this kind of housing is quite strong.
Mm.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Do you guys have chances actually to have a look and explore? Because for my time, I don't really. It's already earlier than when I started investing. It was back in 2010, where most of the development is ready.
Like I said lah, I think I told this story before. It was 2009 or 2010. I had a look at Xenia, about 670,000, the 2.5 story. And I was with a bunch of my mentors who obviously has got a lot more properties than I do. And none of them wanted to buy Xenia. All of them say the same thing. Siapa, who will pay 700,000 to buy a property in Kepung? And who will pay 800 ringgit to about 1,000 ringgit per month maintenance fee for landed property? Only so high water fish will buy. That was the exact statement.
Yeah.
This was the forum days, so all the taiko of the forums that made all this. So yeah, normally, I'm a young punk. I'm not going to assume that I know more than them. But obviously, for me, from a investment strategy point of view, I need to buy property that can get break-even rental or positive cash flow. So this property was, for me, is property that I look for fun. Because rental at the point of time, I think it's about 1,500, maybe 1,200 even. Right? So it wasn't that great. Right? And it was 700,000, less than 700,000 after Bumi discount. And I thought it was expensive because, well, at that point of time, median price point of landed property is about 500,000 ringgit. Okay? So, long story short, guys, if you want to look at people who got lucky, right, in life, look at the earlier buyers of Desa Park City, right, who did not use any data, just buy it because they fell in love with the product. Because all of the data will point you that this is a terrible buy. So then people would probably come and make the argument, then my 7 criteria or our 7 criteria is shit lah, right? Guys, 7 criteria cannot predict the outcome of a landed property that is largely driven by emotional value. So we can't. There's no way in hell we can. Okay? Or anything which is highly driven by scarcity and emotional value is not something that you can put math behind it. Right? Because there's no one that I know can justify why should they buy Desa Park City, other than the fact that I just like the place, my wife likes it, it's nice. My dog likes it too. Right?
I was going to say that my dog.
Yeah, so my cat likes it, my dog likes it, my wife likes it, my kids likes it, I like it too, right? So I'm forced to like it too. So which is why I say people got lucky lah. Unless, for example, you come across a guy whereby who didn't buy anything else in the last 20 years, only buy Desa Park City. And then to me, it was a deliberate move. So if you own a couple of Desa Park City, again, no. To me, you got lucky. But if you only buy Desa Park City, similar to how one of my mentors only buy Bangsa, that's not lucky. He knows what to do with the property before he bought it. Therefore, he understands the market completely. Okay? So the reason why Desa Park City, whoever that bought pre-2010, all became millionaire from one single property. Not multiple property, not so high like me, see? Have to own multiple property to make 1 million. So sad. One property, right? So one property saja make 1 million, right? I believe it's driven by multiple factors, but it's largely due to the fact that you got low supply of property because it's controlled by a single developer. Okay. They bought into a township rather than a single development housing, which is largely, like I said, emotionally driven, gated and guarded. Okay. And it's the only thing in KL that has this feature. There's nothing else in KL. So, if you want to stay something like Desa Park City in KL, there's only one option, which is Desa Park City. You can build 10 more Desa Park City in Selangor, but you cannot build another Desa Park City in Kuala Lumpur. That's it. Full stop. This is it. Right? So when you have a combination of scarcity, very forward-looking and very, I would say, patient developer, which I have to give credit lah, right? But then again, because they are also listed company, they are not a listed company, they are private entity. They can do whatever they want. They're not bound to shareholder pressure. They're not bound to anything. I want to launch, I launch. I don't want to launch, I don't launch. Who gives a right? So unlike your Samdabi or SP or Eco that has to churn phases by phases, the moment you see your first phase do well. Right? So from a supply point of view, right, you are bound to have a lot of supply. Because if you think about it, these guys, in a way, as far as Klang Valley is concerned, had zero experience building a township. Zero. Right? Nowhere near SP, nowhere near Sam Dhabi, nowhere near UEM Sunrise, nowhere near anyone else. They are beating the crap out of all of these so-called public listed far larger property developer as far as building equity for house buyers is concerned. And that's the beauty of remaining private, like guys. Right? So I think there's a couple of moral of the story here. Right? A unicorn became obvious normally 5 to 10 years. Right? So it's not a way whereby you can predict lah, right, what's going to be the next Desa Park City. And Desa Park City became Desa Park City largely due to scarcity and patience. Right? If this is from a public listed property developer, this whole thing will have been developed by 2015. Right? They got pressure to launch. Right? They got pressure to launch. Right? So like I said, I think it's a combination of unique things, and whereby you buy one property, you make 1 million or 2. Right? So if you are wondering how profitable can property investment be, look at Desa Park City, guys. Right? Today, landed property got more than 10% rental yield, obviously, versus price pre-2010. Right? You get more than 10% rental yield. And on top of that, from a capital gain point of view, minimum 300%, I think all the way to about 500%. Right? Setia Alam, nowhere near. Setia Alam probably made double across the board, but nowhere near. Right? And today, I think there are a lot of townships that's basically modeling Desa Park City and looking to launch. You know, they even put sales gallery in Desa Park City to give people the Desa Park City vibe. Sean tahulah siapa developer tu kan.
Yeah, so
abang sekarang letak kedai kat tempat adik.
yeah, so that's the funniest thing right now. Right, all ads, right? Just because you have a lake in the center of a township, they call it the next Desa Park City. So that is still the level of understanding of township for a lot of people, just because there's a lake. And when the lake was up, right, I was still teaching tuition in Kumon. And my students' parents actually bought Desa Park City. That's why we go and visit the house. Then we go around the park. And that time, around that area, only one. That's true. So, but what they did initially, this is partly rumors. I haven't seen the transactions, but they bought each other's project just to drive sales up. This is between like 12 investors who bought a lot lah. I think 2 to 3 each lah. And at the time, all the cash, unforeseen money from the dirty side of the world of Kapong, all flush over there. So, and these people just continue making money lah.
Yeah.
And I was just going to ask only, like, between Setia Eco Park was the first unicorn to me. Then Desa Park City was the second. Then the rest, then I have not seen any unicorn since lah.
Oh, I think the other thing I have to highlight here is that there's a reason also why Desa Park became Desa Park lah. And one of the main reasons it became Desa Park, you're looking at the price point at these levels today here is that it's the fact that you've got old money. I think we covered this in our previous Battle Royale, right? But
Yep.
now we come to the actual training ground, right? Which is Desa Park City. So all the old money from Jinjang, Kepong, DVD sellers at that point of time that was still bought properties like this cash.
So it's true lah.
It's true. It's true. And I remember people are speculating at that point of time during World Cup or whatever, right? So there's a lot of cars parked in front of the bungalow lots.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so even
Same story.
Yes. So even bookies are staying in Desa Park City lah. And they bought cash lah, guys. Dia bukan macam korang, loser, pergi ambil 80% loan. Saya cash purchase. English pun belum tentu boleh cakap. Right? So you think you are educated, you have money? Well, wait, go and see.
Think again.
Think again, right? So I heard lah, some noodle seller, right? 40 years opening a restaurant, bought again Desa Park City cash, right? So you got all of this nice old money neighboring neighborhood whereby people who actually made it. Like what Zairi said lah, right? So but Zairi's friend hasn't made it. If he's taking loan to buy Desa Park City, he didn't made it. Right? It's your Kepong guys, your Jinjang guys, who have berpuluh juta cash in the bank. That is the people who really made it. Right? Because they bought a few. The guy who bought one unit didn't made it because if he sells it,
You cannot buy back.
Desa Park City anymore. Right? So which is why I said lah, anyone who bought one unit to me isn't lucky. In many ways, it's a curse. Because there's only one Desa Park City. Right? You sell that one, sure, you have $1 million or $2 million cash, but where do you go then? Right? So yeah, Desa Park City became Desa Park City because of the combination of a couple of things. Number one, there's nothing is KL like it. Number two, scarcity lah. Number three, very low number of launches. I mean, if you look at the overall number of units in the whole township in the last 20 years, berapa je? Ada ke lebih 5,000 unit tadi? I don't think so, yeah?
No, it's not
Okay?
lesser than that.
Right? You go to Damansara Perdana today, our beloved developer Exim alone ada 7,000 in 3 years. So, again, when you have single developer, don't give a shit, it's my pet project, I can launch whenever I want, I launch whatever price point I want, right? It's a very different story. And I also suspect, because if you look at the launches, Sean, I don't know, I'm sure you're aware lah. Yeah, the only developer that probably doesn't have to spend much on marketing and P or even agent fees. Alright? Tak ada agent, no problem. In fact, agent back them, can you please give me unit? Not even at a discount, no. Just give me allocation of 10%. I'll pay you money so I can go sell overseas. Right? So, and the reason why they can do it is because I would say, I think at least in the last 20 years, anyone who bought a unit direct from the developer, and this is probably the only township that we can say this with certainty, right? I think 90% of them all make money versus the price point today. Right? So there's no project which is underwater, right, Zairi? There's no property today, unlike Jalan Nampang, which is like everything is underwater versus developer's price point. Right?
It's not because they're selling quite well. The take-up rate is really high.
Yeah.
The first 1 week.
Only Sofia lah, the rumah the government housing.
Ah,
So I went there in Sofia, all Mustang one.
Mustang.
In the car park lots. And a lot of people are renting out actually, so that one also another. They should not rent, but then the rental is also amazing lah.
Right. So it's all people who have bought Desa Park City before, made money, continue to buy again from the same developer. That's why this is probably the developer with the lowest marketing A&P around. To my knowledge, I suspect their marketing A&P or budget is probably the lowest in the industry.
They don't even give 10% rebates and all mah.
No, no rebate, no shit. You pay full down payment, man.
You have to pay 10%, right? The down payment.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, you line up to pay 10%.
Yeah, you beg them to pay 10%, no. Right? You beg them to pay 10%. So yeah. All right. After 20 years, buying anything in Desa Park City, like a golden ticket to make easy money.
Which is the one that just got sold 10 million one, Terrace House?
It's the mansion.
It's the mansion lah.
Yeah. The one furthest from furthest away lah. Yeah.
So Desa Park City today is owner of multiple records, the most expensive link houses right now in Malaysia. Right? From a per square foot point of view and from a net price point of view. So the mansion is called the mansion, tapi actually the build up is only 5,000 square foot, not less than 5,000 square foot. And right, it's basically a link house. All right. So yeah, guys, berapa link house? 10 juta.
8 to 9, close to 10 yeah.
Yeah. So there you have it, guys. Desa Park City.
Are they strata title or individual title?
Strata.
I think there are some of it which is individual.
I think the older ones before landed strata was even enacted.
Yeah.
Really? I thought the
is individual.
was the only one which is non-strata, which is the first phase, no? And everything else was under strata.
Probably the earlier phase, right? I've seen, some of it mentioned is individual.
Yeah, so that is something where now, if the newer ones, the landed homes are strata, right? Foreigners will all flock in, which is already in, actually. So for those who buy, so if there's a question they're asking, can this fly up further? I am very confident they can. Because the different currency play is coming in already.
Okay. Continue, Dari.
All right.
So sad. 700 tak mau beli.
But that's the problem, right? With you being a mathematician, you cannot pick anomalies. It's very hard. You cannot pick a unicorn. It's not mathematically possible. You can make a guesstimate, but it's very hard, right? It's very hard, it goes against everything that we believe in.
We let Zairi finish. We're going to start in this slide very long.
Okay. Right. That's why I proceed on the high rise. Okay, so high rise, if you guys remember, it was back in 2020 during COVID, right? So there's a Park Place which is being launched in the same year of COVID. People wearing masks queue overnight to buy this. So it was sell around 900 ringgit per square foot. And people were still that times doesn't believe that's the price people willing to pay for the Park City. And in continuation from the landed, okay, this high rise is also hard to predict in a way that because most of it is family oriented and most of them are buying for own stay. So it's not much of driven in terms of the rental all right, on the comparison of price to the area, but it is most of them is coming from emotional buying lah. So here you can see the size for the 2+1 up until the 4 bedrooms. You see the largest takes roughly around 70% of the whole transactions. Actually, it's close to 80% of the whole transactions. The 1 bedroom is only one, which is coming from Nadia Park Homes. And 1+1 and 2 bedrooms is only 21 unit transacted for the past 2.5 years. So most of it is coming from the big units. So most of them buying for own stay with the family. Right. So that's also a question about the latest launch, right? For example, Nura, which is having a small sizes, whether these developments can actually make it these small sizes or not, because most of it demand is coming from the big sizes. Yeah, and also if you can see here, the median of the new and median of the old, all right, it is about the same because it's coming from the big units and about 1.2 million. So the older ones is probably bigger in size, so 1.29 million. Price per square foot, the new is close to 1,000 ringgit per square foot, while the old one is slightly higher than 850 ringgit per square foot. So the price difference is only 15%. So compare for a condo which is 15 years old and condo which is 3 years old, it's only 15% difference in terms of pricing. So the old condo is really well maintained, that there is really a huge demand. As you can see here, I've tabulated the data. You can see, like, for example, North Shore and also West Side 1, which is, is about 10 years to 14 years old condo, which takes about half of the transactions. So old condo is really in high demand as well. And what I can say is also that those actually are close or walking distance to the park or the lake, right? So that is actually fetch higher price compared to those actually further away, right? So for example, like Westside 1 and 2, price per square foot is around lesser than 800 ringgit per square foot, while the North Shore Gardens is reaching 900. Xenia, One Central Park, which is closest to the park, right? So it's actually exceeding 1,100 per square foot. So other than because this is more for on stay, other than the facing of the condo or the spec of the condo, the distance or the whether it's closer to the lake and then also to the park is also determines also the price. So you can see this is more in higher compared to those actually furthest away. Right, so that's about the price, and also absolute price, you can say highest is coming actually from Park region. This is probably those I heard is coming from buyer from China, so buying at 1,800 ringgit per square foot. It is the first actually exceeding 5,500. There are none actually exceeding that kind of price. So it's only Park region, then only two transactions for this condo is actually 1,800 ringgit per square foot. And pricing wise, about 70% is more than 1 million. However, the per square foot wise, only about 20% is higher than 1,000 ringgit per square foot. There's not many actually for Desa Park City. All right, even though it's the tier 1, no, there's not many is actually above 1,000 ringgit per square foot. Reason being probably is because of most of the developments is older, is old, right? 10, 15 years old. And also because of the size is really big. So absolute price can exceed 1 million, 1.5 million, right? But the price per square foot still majority, 80% is still below than 1,000 ringgit per square foot. All right, so that's about the high rise. Probably if you can compare to, I would like to compare to Mont Kiara actually, right? The median of the high rise in the Sabah City actually in terms of per square foot for the new one is actually slightly better than Mont Kiara. Mont Kiara is 930 ringgit per square foot for the new condos. The Sabah City is already 995 so 5% higher than Mont Kiara. So it's really a good debate, right? Probably can get some panelists back to this, or we can discuss about the high rise if you guys want. What's your opinion, especially if you compare to Mont Kiara? I think there are two different fans, or whether which one actually can make it better.
I think Mont
Any
Kiara
to give some comments on this?
I think Mont Kiara and Desa Park City, the difference is the number of players. So like in Mont Kiara, there's so many different developers just trying to compete for the same audience. But for Desa Park City, they can control when is their next phase. And the closest one in competition will be Bandar Sri Damansara, which is one highway away. Then the other one, when you go through Seri Bintang, you will reach Segambut, which is Dutamas area. So there's no direct competition, not like Jalan Mont Kiara where you have side-by-side developments. So that's my take, and that's why it's easier when you have competition, right? You will try to outbid each other by pricing. But when you control everything, right, you will just slowly release the products into the market. That's why that's the very obvious thing. And until one phase is fully sold out, right, I will never really start the other phase. But in Mont Kiara, you will have 6 different developers, all projects 70% sold.
Competition is stronger in Mont Kiara.
Yeah, competition is stronger. So maybe like in my opinion, right, in terms of products, I've been to Xenia, I've been to some of these projects, right? In terms of furnishing and competition, and because of a result of that, the products in high competition areas might be better. That's my take, right? Although the price appreciation of the location, Desa Park City will obviously won, but I think in terms of finishes, in terms of the things that you get within the unit itself, I might think Mont Kiara is actually better. For the same price you pay, of course. Here 1,000, here 1,000. I get better one in Mont Kiara.
That's a brilliant point, Sean. That's a brilliant point. Because I've not been to any of the Desa Park City products, to be honest. So I cannot tell.
Oh, really?
Never been.
The high rise, you mean?
I've got a mentor who used to stay in I can't remember whether the mansion or Kasaman. And after his bungalow in Country Heights was completed a couple of years ago, he moved out. So before I get to go and see his house, so he moved out. So yeah, and he was like renting at the point of time during COVID, right? I think he's like pay 5,000 only for like a 4,000 square foot, 3,500, 4,000 square foot super link. So it wasn't that expensive. So I think it's a very good point because it got no competition. So it's like it's like in a way Astro lah. Whatever service I give
you kenal orang developer tak cukup nak kenal media company.
What can I say? I don't seek for trouble. Trouble seeks for me, right? So you see, guys, the level of risk we are taking, right? You understand what I'm trying to say, lah? Astro can do whatever they want in Malaysia because, well, they're the most dominant player. If you want that, you pay for it, and whatever you're not happy, well, I don't care, right?
Yep.
So they are in that position because they are controlling all of the supply, right? So last I checked from photos and whatnot, I don't think that they've built anything remarkable. I don't know whether is there even anything comparable to Seni Mont Kiara as of today in Desa Park City. Right? No need to talk about, let's say, and Seni Mont Kiara is a product of 10, 15 years ago.
Almost the same time.
Right? And I don't know if there's any of the new supplies today, even the newly completed ones, are comparable to Seni Mont Kiara. Right? So I mean, you are right lah, because the sheer number of competition, people work harder lah when there's competition and people, when if I have the product that you can only buy from me and I can do whatever I want with it, so there's not much motivation to give the best quality lah. right? So point number one, right? So point number two, which I find to be quite fascinating here, is that Zairi, correct us here, right? These are all 102 transactions in the last 2 years, right?
2.5 years, yes. It is much lower.
Okay. Yet, I think they can fully sell roughly more than 1,000 units of high-rise in the last 2 years.
Yeah, yep. So
Right?
102 in 2.5 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So you got so do the math properly, I guess. More than 1,000 units in primary market was sold in the last 2 years versus only 100 units in subsale. What does this tell you? Okay. So I think number one, the level of speculation is actually pretty high lah. Right? So let's call a spade, right? People just buy because it's just a Park City lor. I mean, right? So and there are people, I guess, you know, I don't know whether it's controlling or rigging price point, but you know, you can use whatever word you want to use it. So price are relatively quite controlled because the number of people selling is quite limited because again, nice place for own stay. Rental yield hasn't quite make it to Mount Kera levels. Right? So what is interesting to me here is that I suspect one of the main reason why you don't have much transaction in subsale, even though some of the subsale are not very expensive, right? I suspect because valuation cannot support. So you gotta top up higher than the 10%. People want to buy Desa Park City, not a lot of people want to sell. So those who are holding stock are all asking 50, 100,000, 200,000 above valuation. Right? So you not only have to pay 10% down payment, you also have to pay whatever shortfall of the valuations if you buy subsale. Which explains why the number of transactions in primary market is ridiculously high compared to subsale. Yeah, in the same category. Right? So if you go to KLCC, for example, you'll see similar numbers. Even if you go to Mount Kera, you're probably going to see similar numbers, right? The big difference here is that the reason why people buy new property in KLCC or Mount Kera is because it costs you lower from a cash upfront point of view. Right? Here, not necessarily, you know, because you still have to pay 10% down payment. They don't give a shit about rebate and anything. And you don't have money, you don't buy, kind of like mentality. Right? So it's like a lot of people buy, don't take loan, especially from the international community. I suspect all pay cash, at least 80 to 90% of it. Right? And even the local guys who are buying, I think not only they have to pay the 10% down payment, they also have to cover some level of shortfall. So really, you are sitting in a lot of cash and you must stay in Desa Park City will pay and go buy this. You need to have a lot of cash to buy in Desa Park City, I suspect. Right?
It set a really high entrance, barrier of entrance.
No, it's just gatekeeping. What you're trying to say is there's gatekeeping involved.
So I don't know whether it's artificial gatekeeping or just natural, simply because it's such a nice place, right? It is a very nice place.
But come to think about it, really?
I mean, I thought with the idea whereby will I stay in Desa Park City? The answer is yes.
But
it's a proper alternative, at least for me.
Because I have audiences who are in Putra Heights, which is like a whole different address altogether. But the one, the gated and guarded community there, conclates in the lake area, which is a private one. They said that has better privacy, and now a lot of bosses of MNCs from Desa Park City moving over to Putra Heights at a fraction of a price, way higher level of security and privacy, because Desa Park City, again with the joke of it feels like a bird park because everybody say tip 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 tip. So it feels it's like little Singapore right now turning China. So even locals now don't like it.
Mm. Makes sense. My last, I guess, 2 visits,
Mm.
quite a fair bit.
Yeah.
Quite a fair bit of PRC that I saw.
So the rich locals who are staying there are actually angry. So that's why when you say like prices are going up, right? My take is that for people who are just aiming for brands, like, oh, hey, where do you stay? Or Desa Park City. Oh, but like for locals like me, like you, Desa Park City, like why? I can pay Sri Damansara, I can buy twice the size, half the price,
Mm.
one street away. And you say that it's very convenient to where? Sungai Buloh?
Well, to be honest, I was contemplating the capacity because at one point I dreamed of owning a dog.
What?
Yeah, I like huskies. So yeah, the reason why I contemplated looking at the 3 to 5 million property in the capacity because yeah, you know what, might be nice, for me to walk, in the evening my dog, So I was contemplating. And I think if I go and do it in some Malay reserve development in Mongkera, I think people will come in with pitchforks to my house. So if I go and do it in Desa Park City, no one will basically complain.
Oh,
Right?
they thought you Indonesian.
I tak tahu lah. I don't look Indonesian whatsoever, right? So yeah. So I can't do it in a Malay reserve development because clearly it's not going to be nice for them, right? So well, I somehow have a higher affinity to dogs more than cats. So
Wow.
I like dogs because dogs are useful and loyal, far more than cats. Useful, If a robber steps into my house, what can a cat do? Right?
I don't know why are we getting into this discussion, but I don't know how to respond at all. Dog versus cat first
But you
time.
see my point, right? Even a guy like me, and the only reason why I consider capacity because, hey, you know what? It'd be nice to have a dog and stay here.
But okay, again, right? No other location can let you have a dog, man.
Not many.
Well, right? You mean?
If we're talking about proper like a park, right? A place whereby, dogs are running freely and whatnot. Desa Park City is the place that I know of. I don't know if there's any other place. Nice enough, branded enough, secure enough. For that reason, I think Desa Park City is ideal.
Yeah, like it comes with that. It comes with that premiumness, lah.
For sure.
Like if I got some paria, like I got 3 to 4 paria dogs right at home. Okay, lah, Subang Jaya, Shah Alam, sounds fine. Like my house is in Sri Muda, Tawasri Banjai. Okay lah. The whole Padang is still, yeah, I don't see any problem. But when you go to Desa Park City, there's no parias. There's no local dog. Even the dogs are branded.
Obviously.
Even the dogs are branded. So everybody, oh, I like that. No. You love branded dogs.
So that's a big difference.
Yeah.
Big difference. That's why the whole this was going to be a question for Mr. Faizul next week in the event, right? But like, where do you foresee the next tier 1 that's going to be up? So like for me, I'm in Bukit Jalil. It feels like it lah. Then like my development right now, right downstairs, it's turning into a dog park. Then suddenly when it's so pet friendly, right, then you attract people with all they won't bring their paria. They will just bring all their branded dogs. Right? Then suddenly it became a thing. And as a local, I don't like it. Although rental is very good lah. Well, capital appreciation for the project, I'm making a lot of money lah. But then so I'm I'm the locals who actually complain, move to Blades lah. So that is where I think.
Right. So I think, like I said, it's a consideration if you can afford a 20,000 dog and you can afford a couple of thousand maintenance. Desa Park City is like a very ideal thing, and for a lot of people, their pet happiness is a very crucial part of their decision making. So you arrive at certain people in life, money is not an object because it was inherited money and daddy pays for it anyhow, right? So if I look at the young PRCs, right, they're like young, like really, really young,
Mm.
right? And they stay in Desa Park City,
Yeah.
right? So,
A lot of my crypto NFT folks,
mm.
or once they make money from crypto, the first thing is get a unit in Desa Park City.
Oh, wow.
That's
Okay.
like 4 or 5 already at 22.
Okay. Interesting. But I think you guys, like I said, the whole point here is that is to assess what exactly is the emotional value that has drive Desa Park City and will continue to drive Desa Park City.
Mm.
And I think what Sean said makes sense because I think the original OGs of Desa Park City now hate Desa Park City because it's not very commercial. Too many people, too many outsiders like me, right? Coming on weekends, hogging car parks, right? Spending time, For me, my kids love the park. We've got a couple of restaurants that we like to go there. So Desa Park City is like a nice hangout place where I spend time with my daughters, right? So it's not just about eating, but we can walk in the park and and in certain seasons, the lightings of the park is actually very nice. All right. So it's nice for people who come and visit the place occasionally and say, you know what, it's not a bad place to stay. But I guess it's not going to be as convenient for people who like privacy. So you're right. So people who value privacy, Desa Park City is a terrible option today. But for coming, Desa Park City, oof. Sexy. Where you stay? Desa Park City.
And I'm gonna interview a few nomads this week as a podcast. So they are moving, they moved in from China, so they kind of stayed in US, they kind of stayed in Canada before. First option, Desa Park City, nothing else. There's no second option.
Wow.
Correct.
I've got a nomadic Singaporean stays in Desa Park City. I also got a crypto trainer, bro, also in Desa Park City.
Yeah. So like now I think we have also common friends all staying there. That's like the only option. So I realized the trend came after COVID. After COVID, Mont Kiara guys all start moving into Desa Park City because the illusion of the space and park and things like that, which is real. But then like now there's no other choice, only Desa Park City. But now looking at it, there's a gap between sizes also. Like the average build up, right? Mont Kiara's one is bigger. So now I'm dying to know, right? Should I start investing in the 635 square feet one, which is like less than 600,000? Because like for a lot of singles who wants to stay there, maybe because before Nura comes out Nura.
For Mont Kiara, it's already common to have a studio and small units.
Correct. Because this area is not supported by job opportunities at all.
Correct.
At all.
Zero funds given for jobs.
That's why you drive to KLCC, not that convenient actually. So that's why when people say it's the dream location, but in terms of connectivity, actually it's not.
Yeah, dream location for own cinema is like you stay with recreational parks, you come back from work, then you don't think about your work. So it's
correct,
much more better for that, right?
But the journey back from work is hell.
But Sean, you have to remember, your pet is happy, your wife is happy, your kids is happy. Only you are miserable. Again, don't give a shit about you or the husband.
Ya anjing saya ni.
I think also
Karena anjing
you don't have to go out.
So the dog has got better life than me. The dog has got better life than me for sure.
Yeah, so that is the like I've been there so many times, right? Like I never liked it. Access wise. Like from the one from LDP, oh my god, you need to make the U-turn, right? I might as well just turn into Bandar Sri Damansara straight. Why do I want to make a U-turn if I come back? But now, luckily for Duke, luckily for the new extension to MR2 and things like that, if not, right, it's the worst. You need to
Yeah.
go through petrol station, some secondary park just to get into your.
Hmm.
That's why. So this is just like you want to get into trouble, right? I think these are like from a local, like to me, will I buy at that kind of price, knowing that I got way more value outside? I won't. And if you just buy it for the lake, there's so many other lakes outside. But the main thing, I think the main thing they did differently is this thing called the infrastructure design. So if you look into their roads, after the road, there will be a dedicated pathway for bicycle. There will be a landscape barricade to kind of stop motorcyclists to snatch thief. Then the lighting design on the pedestrian level is actually lower than the cars. They were one of the first township that actually implements this kind of, I forgot what's the term, but it's this term where they used to design pathways around infrastructures. They were the first one. So if you look at how Zernia is connected to the lake, how all the landed around connected to the lake, it feels very safe. Where even the trees, they use bushidas where the leaves are actually in layers. So when they grow big, they grow in horizontal layers where I can still see you. If you go to Subang, all the trees is like all the rain trees and saman and things like that. They grow like that. So when the trees are grown, I cannot see. So when the landscape is matured, privacy level actually drop. Sense of security actually drop, but not for Desa City. And when you have the security guard patrolling all the time, I think that is the very. So I think maybe it's back then when what we do in the township development also, we purposely march very loudly in the morning to let people know there are security guards around. I think it's done purposefully as well around a commercial area every morning. So yeah, so I think the sense of security in this openness. Again, no offense to Klang, but if this happens in Klang, I dare not walk also if there's such infrastructure. Right? Let's be very honest lah. But then, so this sense of openness in a very secure location, I think that's the only thing that nobody else can replicate.
Hey, Sean, have you visited Park Region? Last question.
Not yet. I don't want to spoil because it's so hot. Then I worry I go in, then everybody they need to. No, I haven't, but I got opportunities to go, but I haven't go.
I see. Well, the median price point for last two transactions is about 1,008.
I know. I think one of them is my audience.
Right. So I'm curious to see. You know, why 1,008 here, this location? Like, wow, cannot breathe.
But it's a debate between 6.6. So it's a debate between this build up, right, versus a landed. So it's an old landed and a brand new high rise. The comparison, because the smaller ones right now people don't want. 1,000 is too small for this level of people. Interesting. So wow, that's why I want to study this a lot.
So which is why, you know, moral here is that if you can get people to be emotional, all the math goes out of the window. Simple conclusion. If you want to have a situation whereby the math isn't mathing, get people to be emotional.
Okay, this is also another theory, another different theory. People got emotional when inception time. First 4 years, people don't really care, see out stupid people, right? But then when people caught it, then it boomed. But now you have so many other developers mirroring what they do. So the effect and element of surprise no longer there. Only for foreigners now. coming in. Oh, this one fresh, but locals all chow already.
When you say foreigners, you're not referring to foreigner lah. You are referring to people outside of Desa Park City.
Yeah.
So like all of us here lah, basically.
No lah, I didn't say lah. I also, it's not like I have a unit there lah, but because I was really at the inception lah. Go there every Sunday morning, go jogging, go and see dogs and turtles. I also don't know why. But you know, I think that event, you talk about how majestic it is. Not really, Just that from a location point of view. But again, location now, if you think about accessibility, also not really, That's why I'm kind of struggling to find what is so, like if a friend asks me, I want Desa Park City. To me, I cannot answer like one very definite. Besides the security point, there's nothing that I can really explain. It's like you must buy.
I mean, if you want something like that in KL, I think it's the only option.
Yeah.
If you don't mind looking outside KL, you've got tons of alternative at 3 times cheaper and potentially better too.
Yeah. Then the next question is like, like what Tony written here, like why KL? Why KL? Like maybe because of the foreign ownership program. You just need to get something above 1 million. Oh, Desa Park City fits the bill.
Correct.
If you go Bandar Utama, you cannot.
Also, if you see in terms of the distance to say Gamuda Garden, is not that far away, right?
But that one different,
It's not KL,
bro. Different. So okay, so I think what a lot of people don't see also, Desa Park City is in between all very, very matured, overflowing population kind of address. Like Kepong, Sri Damansara, right? So out of the norm, right, there's this pocket land where nobody developed. And this bunch of people got it, right? Good for them. Like if you look into Damansara, Perdana, just now we talked about, there's one Beneficia also. Right in front of Ikano.
Yep.
The landed properties. Those made a lot of money also. 3-4x easily also.
Felicia?
Yeah. The landed properties.
Don't think so. I don't think they made that much. I mean, the lowest that I know of is about 1.3 million for semi-D. Bungalows is probably about 2.5 to 3. Right? MK does not have a history of selling cheap anyhow lah. And I think people, I don't think people are even making double. I don't know if they are. Haven't looked at it. Right?
Yeah, so my opinion.
But location is arguably better. Right? So there's a lot more privacy. Right? So there's no other development that you are sharing with. Commercial point of view, there's non-existent. It's a purely residential play lah. But it's leasehold lah, and it's a Selangor. So this one is leasehold.
Yeah, that's why like and like now in this discussion, 3x or 2x sounds so bad. Sounds terrible. If we have in this discussion, you see, hey, Beneficia don't make as much not as good But we are comparing to a unicorn. We forgot that we compared to a unicorn. So that's the, like when you say so the whole theory is the sensitivity to on the romantic level to all these new design things are fading out, in my opinion. So only the ones who crave for the attention, who crave for the brand, are trying to get into the address. But the OGs who have already made it, I think they are out. A bit like Bukit Jalil.
So you're basically referring to Desa Park City like a LV, but the real OG all go by Hermes and Loro Piana.
And people don't even know what is that.
Yeah.
We're going to fabric already. Yep, I think that is what I'm seeing But I don't want to spill. People just spend 6 million on an apartment, right? So congratulate. Wow, good job. But like a lot of my Singaporeans audience who actually are buying, and they thank me, Sean, thank you for covering Desa City, right? That's why I stopped covering Desa City.
Wow.
I know if I were to cover any episodes here, right, that it would explode, go viral, and internationally, everybody would know Sean. But I don't.
Right.
Yep. Wah. Tak sangka like episode hari ni banyak. I
Okay.
never knew Faizul want a dog also.
Yeah, I thought about it. Yeah. But carry on, Tari.
Yeah, I think let's get LB to continue on the rental yield.
Okay, let's continue on the rental. So people have been, the panelists have been sharing that this area is more towards an own stay vibe. Yes, it is from the number itself actually justify everyone bought here actually being for own stay. One more aunties was the earlier batch as well, but she did not move out because she just liked the area. She has been staying there almost 10 years plus. She just love it. And she's not going to rent out his unit as well. He just come back when she's overseas back. So in terms of their rental use for their landed property, due to the scarcity, they are no longer building any more new landed in this area as for now. So the current rental asking per square feet for landed property is close to 1,004 per square feet. And for the rentals per square feet wise, about 3 ringgit 51 cents. Rental use about 3.03%. So it's actually quite low, not much listing as well in the area. So the highest, something to highlight here is the mansions. 7-bedroom can ask about 26,000. One of the highest listing in the mansions was actually 36,000, but it's not on the average side. So I actually excluded that listing lah. So basically, this is how expensive landed can be asked for this township area for our Desa Park City. So looking next is their high rise. There's a lot of under constructions. No, there's not a lot. There's just one under cons that's still ongoing or two in this Desa Park City. So for the one that Sean and Faizul was talking about, Park Region, coming with the smallest layout in the areas, 1-bedroom layout for high rise. Asking today is about 5,003 on average rental. So making the yield is about 5.39%. Consider for a small layout in this whole Desa Park City that's asking the rental yield above 5%. So on average, for their small layout in park regions have made much more yield than those biggest layout like the 3-bedroom in park region. So due to the scarcity of small layout in this area, making this looks quite good on general for this park region, because most of, regardless of landed or even high rise, they come with a big layout like 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, like 2,000 square feet, 3,000 or square feet or more. This is why park regions, when there was launched with small layout, this one was the fastest being taken out as well in the market. So for high rise, asking per square foot today is close to 1,250. Rental per square feet is close to 5 ringgit. Rental yield wise is 4.85%. I will still wanted to highlight this is slightly lower than Mont Kiara in terms of their rental yield. Because Mont Kiara rental yield is about 5% on average across new and old property in Mont Kiara. So on the next slide is the old property for high rise in the area. So on average, old property high rise in Desa Park City still asking above 1,000 per square foot. Is close to 1,100 per square foot. Rental per square feet wise is about 3.76 ringgit. Rental yield wise is about 4.31%. Between new and old, actually the rental yield is not much difference, still below 5% for the old one high rise in Desa Park City. So this is Country Heights Damansara, which is just separated by the NKV highway. So when we talk about Country Heights Damansara, they come with a lot of big plot of lands. People build their own houses in this area, mostly is bungalow. Okay, so their size wise, mostly is like double or triple out than the build out area in our Desa Park City punya landed. So there's not much to be rent in this area, but there's quite a lot of number being asking to sold off lah. So their rental per square feet, rental UI is actually relatively low. It's below 2%. Okay, so the only high rise in Country Heights, Damansara is Hampton Resident. They just completed last year. So there's only one 2-bedroom that's like being listed out in the area. So this is why making the rental yield 6.45%. So this is just to highlight everyone the average launch price per square feet for the high rises, because landed, yes, it was mostly because of emotionally driven last time, and when there was launching landed in this Desa Park City, which is close to Kepong, Menjala, Jijang area. So for the high rise, let's see how actually do they make it at the end of the day. So when I just drafted most of the launch and also transacted per square feet, most of it at least make 30%, close to even 80 or 90% comparing to their launch price per square foot, the percentage changes for the high rises. So if for landed, I guess most of it make about 200 to 500% from the launch and the transacted per square feet today when there was launched last time. So Park Region today, launch per square foot last time was about 1,050 on average. Transacted today is about 1,008 per square feet. So this is on the summary table. So just wanted to highlight for Desa Park City landeds or even high rises, those with bigger layouts, yes, they have a higher demands or even higher use, because you can look at here, Desa Park City landeds, those with more bedrooms, their rental use wise actually highest comparing to those with a smaller layout. Even they can ask for more prices or rental per square feet comparing to those with smaller layout. Even today, prices as well in Desa Park City high rise, there's still similar concept, but due to scarcity of a small layout, so the 1-bedroom in Park Regions asking rental per square foot close to 6 ringgit, and rental yields wise still quite all right, it's about 5.39%. Okay, so this is just now I pull out the rental yield for Mont Kiara. So the UIs for Mont Kiara, just for a revision, yes, across new and old, they're all above 5%. And for today, if you wanted to buy in Mont Kiara, asking per square foot is for new one is close to 1,000. It's still considered quite affordable if you comparing to buying in like landed Desa Park City or even high rise, because landed is asking close to 1,004. High rise new condo is close to 1,250 per square foot. But if you wanted to buy Mont Kiara today, in terms of per square feet wise, is still much more affordable comparing to our next door Desa Park City. So just to draw attention, so people asking, oh, Desa Park City is so expensive, how much is their landed rental can go up, right? So this is to pull out some of the area which is famous for their landed being expensive. So Desa Park City, we have the mansions, the highest listing asking in the market is about 36,000 per month. For Seri Mont Kiara, it's close to 43,000. So for these two mansions and Seri Mont Kiara, their build out are quite similar for their unit. But the one in Taman Newton last Battle Royale we share, right, about Taman Newton being having a old group of buyers that actually go for their landed. They come with relatively bigger size. It's about 16,000 square feet. Asking today about half 100,000. So it's a 50,000 to rent sort of like a landed bungalow in Taman Newton. Consider one of the most expensive lah in these three areas. So that's about the summary. On average, Desa Park Cities landed almost increased about 200, 300 or even 500% from their launch price. On average today is about close to 1,400 per square feet asking. The rental yield for landed is slightly low in Desa Park City, is about 3.03% as mean for own stay. There's more new high-rise being built in Desa Park City, and the asking for new high-rise in the area is about 1,250 lah. The rental yield for high-rise is still below 5%. On average about 4.85%, when compared to Mont Kiara, that's about 5.24%. They started to build more smaller layout, so which we can see about Nora in our Battle Royale later on. The rental per square foot for bigger site layout actually fetch a higher rental per square feet and yield as well. But to be exception, Park region is the one who come with small layout as per today. They also makes quite a significant yield comparing to the big layout as well in Desa Park City. So let's not further ado. Okay, we move to the under constructions in the area before I bring out the panelists to discuss our hot discussion topic later on. So just to highlight this, Nora, before I present this under construction, just to let you guys know, all of the development that is being presented here is all sold out, okay? No more units, okay? Nora, they come with small layout, so as small as 520 square feet, okay? Consider now the smallest in this area, 1 bedroom. Their biggest size is about 1,200 square feet, is a 3+1. So completion about 2027. Something special with Nora is they come with some commercial areas pillows called Nora Walk. Okay, so net per square feet is about 1,050 when they were launched. So this is Park region, a JV between our Park City Vineyard Developer and also CapitaLand from Singapore. This is why there's lots of Singaporeans buying in Park region, and also they advertise in Hong Kong, as well as a lot of Chinese buyer bought also this Park region. Okay, so for the layout wise, they come with a big layout as big as close to 5,000 square feet. They come with, for those above 2,000 square feet, they come with private lift and lobby. This is already completed. Okay, net per square foot when they were launched is about 1,050, close to 1,003 per square foot as well. So this is Park Place going to completion as well. Layout wise is on a medium. They don't come with small layout. Their smallest is about 1,001 square feet to 2 bedroom, and as big as close to 3,000 or 4,000 square feet with a double story concept in this Park Place. When they were launched, that time is about 900 to 1,000 per square feet. Okay, this is Hampton Country Heights Damansara. This is already completed, but they still have balanced unit. Their smaller layout is about 2+1 bedroom, close to 900 square feet. Net per square feet is about 700 to 750 per square feet today. So this is the only one in Country Heights Damansara. So when you're comparing this with Desa Park City, is almost their net per square feet is almost close to half of the prices lah. So let's bring all the panelists to the ring and have this discussion on our under constructions punya property, and also the one we have the next is Kensri Damansara, which is just next door, become the next Desa Park City, or the very new township being introduced by our Exim in Damansara Perdana. Can they make it or not? Okay, let's bring the panelists out.
I think just some context why we decided to ask this is because I think when you look at how the agents are marketing Sri Damansara or Damansara Perdana, and they always say the next Desa Park City. So let's just quickly vote lah. Can Sri Damansara or Damansara Perdana become the next Desa Park City? Zari, can or cannot?
Say cannot. Price difference
Ron?
ended.
I think in terms of attraction, maybe. Price-wise, cannot.
Okay, LB.
But if the price cannot make it, then what's the attraction being there when we're talking about all these investors? They only look at numbers, money.
Oh, okay. My financial part of it is now, if you buy now.
Okay.
If you buy now, can you repeat what was done 2010 to now?
Yeah.
I don't think so they can make it as well. With the current prices, Sri Damansara also launching, but new launches and amenities couldn't really make it as Desa Park City, because Desa Park City was started in 2004. Most of the amenities is quite complete as per today, comparing to other township that was trying to mirroring and to compete with Desa Park City today. That's why I think most of people still choose to stay in Desa Park City, because they couldn't really find somewhere in KL area with similar township. And yeah, they actually bought at a very cheap affordable price last time. So they don't mind to let it go. They just wanted to stay. Yeah.
I think the
Comparing
question
to
is
last
why
time.
would you consider Sri Damansara at the first place when you have Desa Park as an option?
As per today price point, probably they couldn't buy it because the difference in the price per square foot is about 300 to 400, because Sri Damansara landed gated and guided today is about 800 to 900 per square feet. But if you wanted to buy Desa Park City, it's close to 1,003 as per asking. Yeah, as per today price point, close to 1,003 to 1,004. So it's actually quite a huge difference lah in terms of per square feet in between the Sri Damansara and also our Desa Park City, and in terms of the amenities as well.
So for me, my verdict is very straightforward lah. There's only one Desa Park City. There won't be another Desa Park City. And you don't need it to be Desa Park City in order for you to make money, right? So that's the key thing, right? Will it go? I mean, if you look at the high rise in Desa Park City, right, it's struggling to break 2x, right? It's only the landed which is doing well, right? The high rise, okay, but are they making more money than Mont Kiara? Is comparable. Rental yield is lower compared to Mont Kiara, right? So I think if you're harboring hopes that your property is going to make 3 or 4x in the next 20 years, buying some high rise in Sri Damansara or Damansara Perdana, no shit lah, it's not going to happen, I guess. I'm sorry. Even Desa Park City also doesn't happen that way, right? So and it doesn't have to be in order for you to make money, right? You just have to buy the right price point, right? So I think if you are entering at, let's say, for example, 550 and below from a per square foot point of view, at these two locations, it becomes quite hard to beat lah. Obviously, there's no project today available at 550 per square foot and below, if I recall correctly, in these two areas. But like I said, if you're talking about making money, then you have to enter a certain level of margin of safety. That's it, right? So will it be that? Answer, I don't think so. None of the panelists think so, right? There's only one Desa Park City. Desa Park City has got landed property that did very well, high rise, so, right? You know, there's nothing really special about the high rise in Desa Park City. Right? Nothing really special. And the fact that, okay, it looks like a very livable place. And as of today, I think what Sean has said, I think it basically captures it lah. It is attracting the new foreigner. So when I say foreigner, doesn't mean you're out of the country. You could be Malaysian, but you have no idea what KL Selangor looks like. And therefore, Desa Park City is impressive to you. So you go for a branded bag, so you go for LV, thinking LV is the best. Or you go for first coffee and you think Starbucks produces the best coffee lah. Newsflash, it's not. Right? So, you know, that's that.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So-
And back to Zairi's point just now, right? I think Sri Damansara livability is higher than Desa Park. So because I hang out in Sri Damansara a lot. So I was there last time, got the clubhouse before it was a new development now. So like Ativo last time was all hutan. There is 2 to 3 schools around, and the rows of shops is just filled with tuition centers, gyms, cafes, restaurants, and it's in a loop. So I think it's a very livable one compared to Desa Park City. So Desa Park City, you one straight road, right? Go where Metro Prima je. Kepung.
I mean, for standard local, it feels like really, really livable lah.
Yeah.
Like Kota Damansara, you feel like it's very livable compared to Mont Kiara, for example.
Yep. So I think like when you say the sound like that, why would actually people buy, right? Like last time people actually debated, right? Like my aunt actually told me, hey, I think I made a smarter move in Sri Damansara. Desa Park City there got nothing. Yeah, Manjarara last time also, the only thing you have there is steamboat only.
Yes. Yes. Now it's also steamboat only.
Yeah, now it's like all steamboat only. Like, what you want to eat there? Like, yeah, you got the Tesco, the big deal, right? So, yeah lah. So that's also my take. Like when just now Faizul also said, like, at what price point? At 1,000 per square feet for a landed, bro.
And definitely not make it.
But I think there's a principle that I also learned after getting to know a few owners there is rich people don't buy the best. They buy the most expensive.
Mm.
Premium.
Very good lesson in brands.
And they staying together lah, right? So they buying the most expensive and they staying together. They distinguish
But
themselves.
we still look for value, we still look for connectivity, we still want to justify our money. They don't. They
Mm.
just want the most expensive.
So they can't live in Damansara like that. No way, unless if you really have a huge area that you can overturn the Damansara into a new area.
But the new township is doing well. I think Ativo is doing well.
Yeah, they are doing a township lah. Just for context. So this is Bandar Sri Damansara.
You,
Yes,
you got this slide flash out like just now.
forgotten. I was like, I missed out. So Bandar Sri
That's a
Damansara, yes,
circle.
is just next to our Desa Park City lah. So this is Bandar Sri Damansara. Yes, they are coming with a new township. Yes, at the Ativo area. So I just wanted to show about some of the new launches in this area. Lee Vista, Bandar Sri Damansara is a freehold as well. Layout wise, 2 bedroom, 1 bathroom is about close to 700 square feet. Biggest is a 3 bedroom, close to 1,000 square feet. Asking today net is about 680 per square feet. So a bit much discussion about this Lee Vista was people was advertising this as below market value about 30%. They have covered way to the MRT station, but to be honest, I don't think so. The covered way covered fully. I think it's partially covered only. Okay, just to highlight here. And also, very debated question is Lee Vista is located next to HDC, is about 50 meters away. That's caused a lot of concerns when people wanted to buy in this product. So the other one is Amaya this is the one at above the township lah. So they are selling today is about close to 900 per square foot to 1,000. Okay, completion is about 2028 because the mall is going to be completed about 2027. So they come with a small layout. It's about 540 square feet. So in this township, it's about 64 acres. They will come with like offices, hotels, and malls in this township lah. So they are also selling for future concept as well for this township in Amaya. So this is new, I would say, new notable launches in this Bandar Sri Damansara. For the comparison, if you're asking, okay, if you wanted to buy in this area or compared to Desa Park City, but the township is still ongoing. I don't see it's as completed as our Desa Park City as per today lah. This Amaya also selling for wellness concept for old people. Yeah, that's selling point for this Bandar Sri Damansara area. So if people are asking, yes, Desa Park City or Bandar Sri Damansara as per today, yes, they are trying to mirroring to build more township as well in the neighboring road. Okay. So we also have one dish is Damansara Perdana, also one of the township by our Exim group. So in this area, there's quite a number of high-rise being launched in these 2 to 3 years. It's close to 7,000 units in this area. I'm not considering those going to launch in future, probably making up close to 10,000 units in this small township. Not very small, okay, in this township area as well. And people are selling also own stay concept. What do you guys think in this product as well? Is it also very suitable as an own stay as comparing to our Desa Park City today? Yeah. So let's bring all the panelists again to the discussion about this township kind of concept and prices if you wanted to buy it today.
What's the latest price for this Damansara Perdana?
Damansara Perdana today is about 650 per square feet or 700. Depending on which. Some earlier space could be about 550 per square feet, close to 600. Today is about 650 to 700 already. They're selling for own stay, also township, recreational areas, more walk near closest to the naturals, with waterfalls features. Yes, that's the
That's
concept.
what Foresta also got, man.
So if you compare to Damansara, Damansara is more livable in the way.
They share the same mountain actually.
Yeah, it's just different side.
Yeah, they share the same mountain.
Jalan-jalan lah.
My take is people buy here initially is because that's all they could afford.
About 550,000.
But people buy Desa City because they have achieved.
Okay.
I think it's a very different mindset lah. Because like if you think about it, the cheapest that time when I was covering the Erica, it was seriously the cheapest thing that you can get around this area.
3 bedroom 500K.
Yeah.
Okay.
What else you want? Nothing else you can buy already around the area.
Yes.
Yeah. But just that the only thing that it got people angry is they didn't tell you they were that's another 7,000 more units. Because they break my face. That's the only thing that I realized a lot of people are upset about.
So, which one? Larry. Sekejap. Country Heights tak masuk Ke ada?
Country Heights ada. The
Hampton tu lah.
Hampton, the unsold units in the area. But Country Heights is also like nowhere here or there in the area. Also not near to any commercial as well.
In fact, I never knew how to go in Country Heights at all. When I was flying drone at Desa City, I looked at the houses opposite. Macam mana nak pergi opposite? I never know how to access until Country Heights, this Hampton came up.
A small route from Damansara to go in.
Yep.
So it's nowhere here and there. But yeah, people are selling, it's next to LDP, but still similar, Country Heights, Damansara.
You are literally next to LDP.
Yes, literally next to it.
If the stone lantern from the crater, right, still kena your rumah. It's that near.
Yes, it is. For this Hampton, Damansara, it is for this Country Heights areas. So it's just next to it, talking about the connectivity to LDP highways. Yes, it is. That's close. I think Damansara Perdana, they also selling their accessibility as well, connectivity for their product, connections to the highways. If you are comparing to Desa City okay, that's just connected to MR2 as per today, comparing to others. Yep.
You must be loving the LDP so much that you choose Hampton.
If Damansara Perdana somehow can connect into NKB, actually it's above only, right?
Yeah. I think they are trying to make it.
Because the landed housing that we always see next to NKBE is the housing right next to Damansara Perdana. Actually, it's at the same level, and the level is there already.
Well, even
just
today,
that maybe JKR don't allow
If only.
Yeah. You are in between two supreme highways, but what's the landed development called? Also Forest Hill.
Forest Hill.
Forest Hill.
I think those who bought Forest Hill, I think, had that expectation.
Okay. So, vote. Terry.
Oh, I start first.
Huh.
Just now you show Park Region 1,100, right? Now selling 1,008 already. So I choose the one. Can you still have unit?
No, means if you buy today, you will buy at 1,008.
No lah, sell it at 1,008, right?
No.
Buying at
Yeah.
1,000.
So if you buy, are you okay to buy it at 1,008 today?
No.
The
I'm
average
following
asking
the
today is about
launch price.
1,005.
If not, 1,008 cannot lah.
You don't buy last time price lah. Like where we go play such game one, bro.
This is but if average for Park Region asking today is close to 1,005 per square feet on average. Smaller layout is about 1,003 to 1,004. But
We
larger
don't
is
have any
about
more units
1,005.
kan? Park Region, Park Place, no more units all.
There's
Or
also,
sub-sale lah.
they're all sub-sales.
If undercon, I would choose probably Park Place lah, at around 900 to 1,000 per square foot. Considering the location is not too bad.
Park
Comparing
Place,
to other developments, yeah. Because the entry price comparing to Park Region is 1,002, 1,003. This one is 900 at the early bird. So yeah, I think this one is quite a good choice. Because you compare Livista, right? Livista 700 per square foot already. Panasi Damansara 200 per square foot difference. Park Place lah, my choice.
Albi?
I go next. I think as for today price one, with my authority, I will choose Amaya. Looking at their potential of their township, and also the concept that they're selling, and also Artivo suits, and yes, they are making quite good rental, also comparing to the area lah. So I will pick Amaya, and also with the similar price point for me to enter into Desa Park City. I guess I'm too late, so I choose Amaya for my pick.
Me too. Because again, my friend is the project person for Amaya lah. So okay, first of all, it's because it's a mixed development. Then it's a township development, and Artivo Plaza didn't do very well when it was up until the completion of Artivo. Suddenly, the complementary element starts making sense. And now it became, when they leased out the standalone commercial building by Uniqlo and the commercial building next door, the business is one of the best performing branch for KL. So with that, then I think people are actually shopping there. Locals are actually shopping there. So now I think how I wish they could have sold a little bit more conservative, but they have delivered what they have delivered so far, like the covered walkway to the MRT, which was seemed as impossible back then. When you look into the plan, the highways, it's mission impossible one. But look at it, they did it lah. And now, with all their new projects, it seems like the management is really trying very hard. They delisted their public listed company. They go private with the company. Then I see they got a lot of money. So I have, if I were to buy, I will buy this.
I will go with probably the most controversial pick code. Obviously, at the current market price point, I would not buy any of it. Right? Exim product seems to be the most logical choice as a value investor. Buy the cheapest one lah, right? But again, the 7,000 unit worries me lah. So I don't see much hope there, given the fact that there's also no TOD. So I have to rule out Exim. I would probably go for Hamptons.
Hampton, okay. Let me put that aside. Why?
I would go for Hamptons. Number one, I always maintain this. You want to buy property pre-COVID launch at pre-COVID price point. Because normally from a spec point of view, you get a much better spec. A 700 ringgit per square foot pre-COVID property versus a 700 ringgit per square foot post-COVID property, the spec is completely different. So that's point number one. Point number two is that it's part of country heights. No matter how much you shit on country heights, it's still country heights. Right? So given the fact that it's only about 100 ringgit, maybe even lower price per square foot, higher compared to Damansara Perdana, it's cheaper than Sri Damansara, it's cheaper than Desa Park City, despite the median for country heights is going to be far higher. Right? So I think it's a wonderful alternative. But I will skip buying any of the LDP facing units. I'm going to buy the one with the forest view. Right? So that would be my condition. Yeah.
But you think the units facing away from the LDP will be 750 per square feet? Right? I don't think so.
I wouldn't be surprised. I think it's going to be selling at a discount.
Huh?
The units which is facing LDP will sell at the discount compared to the non-LDP.
Okay. Yeah, correct.
Right? So I think from a spec point of view, and I've been there before, it's very quiet. The privacy is very good. It's just right after the entrance of Country Heights, Damansara. Right? So it shares the same entrance.
It is coming from a developer, mainland. So you think the spec of mainland is really, you okay with that?
I think got pre-Buran mainland and then got post-Buran. So
I think this one is an insider thing.
yeah. So I think the fact that they've got a pretty unique facilities too, which is actually meant for elderly, which gives you a lot of emotional retirement kind of like vibe. So basically, if you're talking about product for retiree, this is the best one. Desa Park City too busy. Damansara Perdana is too high density, too cheap too, right? Desa Park City, let's say Desa Park City too busy lah. Sri Damansara is, I guess, is appealing for people who are from the area, but have got zero affinity lah. And for less than, say, where do you stay? I stay in Country Heights. Not so bad.
Country Heights.
Yeah. So and I've been to the place. The one facing forest is nice. It's nice, right? So I think facilities wise are also quite good. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Hamptons. A bit odd. Of course, the caveat here is that, like I said lah, at this price point, I wouldn't buy anything. Hamptons is probably going to be the only property I will enter if I can get it around 550 per square foot and below. I mean, I can forget about asking for 800 ringgit per square foot in Desa Park City lah. Right? So yeah. So at 550 per square foot, cheaper than even Exim, I feel it's very safe. And you got the Country Heights address. Proper KL Country Heights address. Freehold.
I never had any affinity to Country Heights at all. The only Country Heights I know is the landed one in
Kajang.
Kajang lah, the one famous.
Never know this.
Well, again, put it this way lah. It's really the who's who lah. It's the billionaires that stays in Country Heights, right? So, the largest property there is owned by a top glove, not top glove lah, one of the glove manufacturers punya boss lah. Like a 20,000 square foot bungalow. And every property is just quite unique, right? So it's quite
quite a scene.
It's quite a scene, right? So I mean, I'm at the stage whereby I don't need to be seen. I also don't want to be seen. So of all these places, I guess Country Hearts is the one which is going to give me the highest level of privacy. Yeah. So as you get older, guys, privacy is important. Yeah. As you get older, privacy is important. Which is why you see
Retain it more lah.
you appreciate it more. You like the quiet a little bit more. So, my mentor who owns that last time told me better buy Tropicana or Country Heights. Because almost everyone there, if you're talking about just jogging, right? You bump into someone, everyone has got a minimum net worth of easily 20 or 30 million. Easily. Right? Not that I care about the networking, but it's kind of useful to know, lah. You know what I mean? So I'm quite an introvert. I wouldn't approach people at start or first. So unless people approach me, I just mind my own business. I'm not there to network. But well, but that will be my thought process and consideration. The other place that he mentioned for that kind of level of networking will be Tropicana. So it's like everyone is somebody. So everyone is somebody. Right? So yeah. And by the way, to build something in Country Heights, minimum capital you need 10 million. Land, basic bungalow is 10 million. Cash. Don't take loan on. You think Desa Park City is bad, you have to top up 20%. Go Country Heights and see.
Is Country Heights higher or Bukit Tungku higher in?
Bukit Tungku is old.
It's
So
older than Country Heights?
yes. It's much older.
Hmm.
There's nothing new, right, in Bukit Tungku? But most of the bungalows that you see in Country Heights is actually quite new. All built in the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah, I think they are still selling the bungalow plots there. We can buy now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, these are like absolutely out of my radar kind of things.
And it's
I
not.
need to work so hard.
And I think the bungalow plot is available at about what? I think 3 times or 4 times cheaper compared to Desa Park.
Yeah, buying a plot of land. Yeah. And build on it.
So for me, exclusivity, price point, not much of a difference. Some more cheaper than Sri Damansara. Spec-wise, most likely is also higher, given that it's a pre-COVID launch. Oh, yeah.
Question.
Yo.
What do you think about buying residential title lands as investments? Okay, so you got extra cash, is definitely not for rental.
I would only do it if I intend to stay there one day.
Okay.
Right? For investment, strictly a no-go for me. Unless I find something at a 30 cents on the dollar kind of thing, right? So otherwise, I don't see it as appealing. Right? It defeats the purpose of having plan A, plan B, plan C. But that's really a game that you play. You only have one plan, right? You
Another
buy
water fish.
you buy for capital gain purposes, right? Or you buy because you want to build something on top of it. Right? So those are games that you play when you are sitting on a, I guess, minimum reserve of a couple of million. At least 3 or 4 million, in my opinion. At least for the location that we want, Sean. No need to talk about your Kajang and Sebenye, 300,000, plot of land. So I'm talking about your Desa Park City location or Subang minimum, right? So yeah, those are expensive. Very cash heavy.
Yeah, because like my observation now is that we talk about Subang, also Subang Heights is one of the premium location last time. And all the heights, right? Last time is also by lands. And residential land. So are they the address that the developer envisioned? Not even close. Because a lot of people just buy living there. I'm so curious to know how many percent of the lands are actually built. I think in Tropicana still got land. Not built, not 100%. And there's always this fear where a new neighbor comes in and it takes 7 years to build his mansion. So it's going to be hell for everybody around the street. That is my experience on residential title lands. So not like Desa Park City where developer controls everything, builds everything. It's so much in control. Yeah, so that's just something to point out. So that's why I'm very curious.
Okay. There you go, guys. Battle Royale. LB pick Amaya. Sean pick Amaya too. Zairi pick which one?
Park Place.
Park Place. Desa Park City. I go for Hamptons. You know, I cannot stand property developers sell me things at market price one. It's go beyond everything I believe in, right? Against my DNA, right? Or bargain hunter. So begitulah. Okay, let's move on, LB, to the conclusion so that we can quickly wrap up Q&A.
Okay, I think this is being covered last time, so we just go to the summary first.
Yep. So I think let's give credit where it's due. No one made more profit than the people who bought into township development, or I think anything from a landed property point of view, than people who actually bought Desa Park City pre-2009, 2010. I don't think there's anyone who can say I made more money than people who bought Desa Park City. Unless you buy this one or two auction units and whatnot, there's that possibility. But than that, talking about buy township, buy from developer, I don't think anyone has made more money. Right? So number two here is that Desa Park City was launched during a property slump, if you were to ask me. It was a 2004 all the way to 2009, right? Period. And then you got a property bull run in 2011 all the way to 2015 and 16. And that bull run made everyone in Desa Park City landed property owners a millionaire proper. Right? So I think timing of entering is very key, especially if you want to play landed. If you want to play landed, your game is capital gain. And if you want to play the capital gain game, your timing has to be impeccable. Okay? Then number three here is that there's a reason why, for example, we like gated and guarded, because in most cases, right, the gated and guarded will win against a non-gated and guarded. So you have to remember, right, all these old stories from me and Sean, right, back then, right, people are thinking only Sohais will buy Desa Park City because at that point of time you can buy double story at Sri Damansara for 500,000. And these guys are selling for 600,000-700,000. Some more have to pay maintenance fee. Right? So you compare today, rental-wise, this landed property are going for 5,000 to 6,000 rental per month. Your Sri Damansara is probably going to be 2,000 to 3,000. Lost completely. Right? Capital gain, again, no need to talk lah. Your Sri Damansara today is about 1 million-ish. Double your money. The one Desa Park City, 3 to 5 times your money. Right? So, point number 4, right? Whether it's listed, whether it's non-listed, right? It's not a bearing that a listed co will make you more money than a non-listed property developer. And obviously, if you ask me, most of the profit I've made out of property are actually buying from non-listed property developers, not the listed ones, right? So again, if you listen to, throughout the part of the presentation, you will realize that public listed company has got targets to hit, and they will continue to go and launch things, right? And if you look at how Exim is doing it, they are running themselves like a public listed company already. From the looks of it, launch after launch, which is a very interesting observation. Hint, hint, right? Maybe something is brewing there. Begitu, right? So the price today in Desa Park City is already at the all-time high. Also very likely to continue to go up, right? Because as we have heard towards the last 2 hours webinar, right? You got new money coming in. It's like people who just got money begin to buy LVs. So LV will continue from a price point of view to go up, and so is Desa Park City. Now, is that the best product, the best quality product you can buy? Not really. I don't think so. Sean don't think so. I don't know about what LB and Zairi is thinking, but I think so far from what we can see, from a quality point of view, it's not. Is it the best location? Not really. Right? But it is very sexy, right? If you're a first-time home buyer and you're young, you made a couple of 100,000, young millionaire, crypto bro, right? And you just got married, right? And Desa Park City is a very sexy address. While you get the oldies are all looking to move out because today Desa Park City can no longer offer the same level of privacy. Too many people go there to hang out, right? So, and we think from a price point of view, it will continue to be driven by greed and scarcity. Because the rental, you cannot make it, right? You just cannot make it, right? So what's driving the price point is similar to buying in Penang. Okay, is the belief that property price will continue to go up because there's no more land, there's no more new project, it's scarce. Okay, so there won't be any more Desa Park City that can be built moving forward in Kuala Lumpur, which is why I think it's also one of going to be the primary drivers why people will continue to buy Desa Park City, right? And again, you got bull run gains, which is double your money, but you've got bull run combined with limited supply townships, combined with a perfect USP, right? Then you make crazy gains, right? Like the ones that you see in Desa Park City. Okay? So that's the summary. Next slide, please. Okay. So what are the opportunities? At least for me personally, I would say you got properties available at half the price of what Desa Park City is selling, and it's only 5-10 minutes away. Right. So I think those are better value for money product that you can consider. If you're talking about investment point of view, I think there are better product in other tier 1 areas like Duta Mas that will offer you much better yields compared to Desa Park City. Okay. So and became very clear that the property bull run is already on the way. So there will be properties that might hit performance comparable to Desa Park City. Will it be 3 times, 4 times? No. I'm talking about high rise. If high rise, then you have to accept that it's going to be a 50% all the way to about 150% kind of like gain, which is already quite respectable, right? So from a high rise point of view, Desa Park City lose out to Bangsasa. Landed property point of view, Desa Park City didn't lose out to anyone in Malaysia lah, to my knowledge lah, right? So those are opportunities available for you guys to consider. Next slide, please. Okay. We are looking at it again from an investment point of view, right? We don't buy anything at the peak, and we don't buy anything that cannot be justified from its rental yield. So, and like I said, I think I've mentioned it in the presentation. 7 criteria can only quantify things that can be quantified, but it cannot quantify emotional value. It cannot quantify scarcity. It cannot quantify the need for my dog to be nearby a very nice dog park, right? Those things are not measurable, right? But would those things help increase property value, get people to be crazy to go and buy things at crazy price point, top up 10 to 20% versus what is the bank valuation? Answer is absolutely yes. All right. I've seen people who are kinder to their dogs compared to their own family members. All right, so don't underestimate the emotional factor. All right, which is why I think the Desa Park City will continue to do well. But it's just for us at Far Capital, we are value investor. We don't buy things at the peak, we buy things at the discount. Right? We buy things whereby we can make a reasonable buffer. Right? Rather than trying to catch the hit. Okay, so for us, we don't buy anything at the peak. We don't buy anything which is justifiable from a rental yield point of view, which is why Desa Park City today is out of our radar. We don't do any deals in Desa Park City. And I also think they don't need companies like Far Capital because there's a lot of people who are emotional enough to just buy. Even if they were to sell it about 1,500 per square foot, I can also guarantee you it will still sell. Okay? So we don't do those things. We don't buy things that we cannot quantify. Okay? Next slide, please. Okay? So, that's the end of tonight's presentation before we move to Q&A. So for those who do not know, Far Capital is one of the largest online property purchase platform, but purchaser in the country, right? The next couple of weeks and months will be very exciting for us, right? We are looking to launch property nearby TRX area with about 7% rental yield. This is again pre-launch, right? Be quite good. We are looking to pre-launch a landed property with better than Desa Park City rental yield. Not capital gain, rental yield. So it's going to be the first landed property with 8 to 10% rental yield, right? So we're looking to pre-launch this in the next 6 months, right? Like I said, Desa Park City is tier 1, going for about 1,000 to about 1,002 per square foot today. We are now looking to buy tier 1 at 600 ringgit per square foot ish, right? So we think they are better buys. And we are looking to launch a pre-launch property, right? That is next to LRT, less than 240,000, cheapest, right? So, we always have this tagline, whatever that we buy, we normally buy the price point which is cheapest in the last 10 years. So you go to Cyberjaya, we're the cheapest in the last 10 years in cyber. Dutamas, same thing, right? So if you like to join, buy the cheapest, value investor, not buy branded stuff, right? Consider looking to join our buying group, right? So next slide, please. I think we can, shall we go to Q&A?
Okay, all right. So moving to the first question. All right. So first one, Monkiara today versus Desa Park today. What will be your view that will have better capital gain and cash flow?
I think the numbers are pretty certain. From a cash flow point of view, based on the existing projects, because it's available at a cheaper price point, yeah, the rental per square foot is comparable to Desa Park City. So Monkiara is going to win from a rental point of view. Capital gain, again, is subject from project to project, right? Sean, Desa Park City is a monopoly of a single developer looking to launch whatever quality, whatever price point, and there's only one source of option that you can buy from. Monkiara is a lot more competitive. There's a lot of top players there. They're all competing, to provide the best quality, right? So I think from a quality point of view, you're also going to win in Monkiara. Capital gain is very much depending on projects. And obviously your entry price. Right? So we did Battle Royale, Monkiara. Go and have a look. Right? So I think we've covered that. So at least for me, as far as high-rise is concerned, I genuinely believe that the Monkiara high-rise today will outperform anything that you can buy in Desa Park City. What do you think about it, Sean?
I think so too. But the only thing about Desa Park City is, but now looking back, only kind of makes sense. Like if you were to buy the highest price product 10 years ago, but the rental yield of today can actually cover the installment. So, but we don't play, like Faizul don't play this game lah. We cannot foresee 10 years later, like the question there, like Puasa Damansara, will it repeat itself? Me, based on my experience of looking into township developments, landed ones like Gamuda Cove, Gamuda Gardens, City of Elmina, Serenia City, or I can name so many. Are they going to do the same thing? Like the exact same formula is not going to work already, lah. Yeah, it's going to perform better than individual title houses, definitely, but yield wise, but landed, that's for landed. The high rise game, I think, is really obvious. Mount Kiara one is the best, and because you don't
And
like
it's
this, yeah, correct. So
Mm.
you can, if you don't like anything, or you just move next door.
Mm.
So it's really a very competitive thing. You don't like this one, move next one. You don't, yeah lah. So I really do see that lah.
Mm.
Uh,
I mean,
I think like
the other point to highlight is probably the velocity of transaction. I think Mount Kiara recorded close to about 1,000 transactions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And you have what? Less than 3,000 of new launch. So that ratio of sub-sale transaction versus new launch is not a big gap.
Mm.
And Desa Park City is just crazy.
Like for Mount Kiara, it's like you also really like rewalkable dual access. Like is this Kiara 1, Kiara 4, 3 and 5. This is just really very connected. Then commercial area is very centralized. I think Desa Park City is more like a center and a radius of like being a circle. It's not really like Desa Park City. Mount Kiara is like a dual access. Always you can just pass through it, and you have two international school within this like very small acres of land of development comparing to our Desa Park City. They also have hospital, I mean a medical center in Mount Kiara also, comparing to Desa Park City in terms of a livable kind of affordable and livable kind of deal one. Yeah.
What's interesting, right? I think and I would be, I think I would still be alive when it happens. When Desa Park City runs out of land, and when Mount Kiara runs out of land, which one will perform better?
Mm.
That will be very interesting.
Your
Mm.
perform better counts like the yield part or the appreciation part?
I think this is when we talk about like the same 1,000 ringgit I put in today, which one will perform better?
Mm.
So when both have scarcity already, right? Because now scarcity, it's the Desa Park City secret weapon, ma. Even when you still have land, you create scarcity because you control supply,
Mm.
right? But in Mount Kiara, is if I don't launch as UEM Sunrise, other jokers are launching. So they're going to capture all. So I will eventually release until the day where there's going to be all the small plots around. Then when scarcity kicks into Mount Kiara, wow,
Mm.
that is interesting.
Mm. How far are we from that? 10 years?
Mount Kiara still have plenty of land.
No,
That's Malay Reserve one.
Especially the Malay Reserve lah. Would you consider that?
unless we change Prime Minister and who open for all, wow, I don't think so also.
Not that easy.
I don't think so. How long away? I hope it happens soon. So I get to test this theory, then this footage, right? Now I foreseen what Sean sees so far. 20 years, I think.
Okay. Macam not that long.
It is
I
very long.
I think Mount Kiara will run out of land in the next 5 years.
Huh? 5 years?
That is macam too short.
Because I think like I said lah, during property buran, it's just not the buyers are crazy.
Oh,
So even
okay,
the
okay,
developers
okay.
are crazy. If they can sell at 1,003, 1,004, and people be lapping on the product, why wait?
Yep,
And
true.
for the developers that we know as of today, I think they've had one property buran and property slump to go and recognize that there's a pattern here. I don't think they will be as naive compared to the last 10 years.
Mm.
Hmm.
Mm.
Right? And I'm just gonna say this out loud lah. We are having a lot of conversations with property developers looking to launch their unit lah.
Mm.
There's also personal motivation for me to get people to launch as many as possible lah. I want to see Monkera run out of land quicker.
Mm.
Right? So number one. Number two, it's also profitable for both the developer, FACAP.
Mm.
Right? So for FACAP player who bought at 600 ringgit per square foot, and for this developer to go launch at 1,002, 1,003, and people are buying it, how much are we going to make?
Yep.
So if we bought at 600 and everyone is selling at 1,002, 1,005, so at the peak of property buran, whatever that we bought, VP at that point of time,
Mm.
we're going to be worth 1,000, 2,002. So there's vested interest for me to make sure that my buyers make maximum amount of money. So I don't care about the people who bought at 1,003, 1,004, because they're not cap clients anyhow, right? So for me, I think it's an outcome that will happen. So I think in 5 years, you will see a flurry of launch. Because the data from first half of 2024 is very clear for Napi.
Mm.
The new launches of in 2024, despite we already enter a property buran territory, right, is still lower compared to 2019. Okay, it's still lower compared to pre-COVID. So developers are still being conservative.
Mm.
But when you look at it today, Pavilion launched 1,003, 1,004, doing well, almost fully sold everything. Arte almost fully sold everything too, right? So I think with better property market and when the property buran become obvious for a lot of people in the next 2 or 3 years, you will see a flurry of launch lah. This is similar to what happened in Monkera 2012 all the way to 2015. History will always repeat itself. So, you know, and emotion is not hard to predict.
Mm.
From an outcome point of view, not from a result point of view, outcome point of view.
Wow. I am so curious right now. It's so so I have so many questions. Like, do I keep or do I sell when the buran comes?
Keep. You keep. So the peak, I think, is gonna happen 3 to 5 years from now. It depends on the policy that we have lah. I think this is a speculation for me lah. If high-speed rail were to happen, then Mount Kiara easily becomes an average 1,000, 2,005 per square foot. I mean, people already commented there's only 3 places if you're a foreigner you go and look at. Desa Pak City, Bangsar, Mount Kiara. And Mount Kiara is by far the cheapest today.
Yep. So sad KLCC.
No KLCC.
Not even top 3. Like,
Maybe at the price point looking at yes, Mount Kiara would be comparing to KLCC as a livable area. KLCC mostly on commercials, walking opportunities, but
no, but last time it was a thing for foreigners.
attraction that was the only thing.
Yeah,
they have
everyone wants to buy KLCC, but now it's not. What an interesting site.
I mean, it's similar to Desa Pak City lah. You ask anyone who bought anything at 1,001, 1,002, what math are they doing? Right? There's no math. Berarti you cannot justify. Right?
Zairi, kenapa nak beli Park Place pula? You're just
6
betting,
Maya,
you're just
Maya.
betting on the best thing to continue to perform better only, man, right?
But it's same price as Amaya lah. If Amaya 700, I buy lah.
Okay. Okay.
Right?
But like people would consider KLCC because of, as you foreigner go to any other cities, right? You will go to the city center lah. That's normal. So they won't go to any other suburbs, right? So city center is normal to invest in, but it doesn't look that interesting today lah. KLCC, however, it's cheaper than Monkiara, right? So still KLCC, I think, have big potential other than Monkiara.
But lately, I've been to other states aggressively, like Malacca, Ipoh, Penang, KK. Every time I go to other states, right, I come back, I look for far cap the person so I can buy more. Because look at it, right? Mont Kiara at 900 or 800 per square feet, right? It's cheaper than Penang.
Penang is scarcity, ma. And Penang locals, like every launch, they can support their own product.
Yeah, then then I go to KK, 1,000 ringgit per square feet is the norm. It's the middle range product only. Then I come back there and look at my booking Jalen one. Hey, dirt cheap lah this one. Rental yield so good, potential appreciation. Hey, then sure I should buy more. Yeah, but then it's so interesting and we still talk about like, oh, this one too price, too high, right? It's already happening in other states.
Hmm.
Yeah. So interesting. Wow.
Next question.
Okay. So soalan yang seterusnya. Okay.
Wah.
Yeah.
Macam
Alright.
game ni.
Okay. Next question. I am new in Battle Royale. I got to say I have to watch all in YouTube because this is good, man. But quick question. When will be the next bull run? So yeah, always have this question about bull run.
I think the data is very clear. Number of property transaction in 2024 first half is already looking at the highest in the last 30 years history of Malaysia. So we're looking at a record high for 2024 from a number of transaction point of view. And you have a lot of people looking to buy property, bought property in the first half, but at the same time, if you look at new supply being launched, it's still lower compared to pre-COVID. So there's going to be a supply squeeze, and when supply tak banyak and number of people looking to buy continue to be even higher, right? Normally price will go up lah. So for now, you see transaction moving up rapidly, tapi price hasn't really gone up a lot. So a lot of people probably commenting, "Wah, Faizul bullshit lah, no buran lah. Tengok harga rumah aku beli 10 tahun lepas tak naik-naik pun." First, memang kau bangang beli rumah pada harga yang salah, memang tak naik lah. So again, buran cannot save stupid people. Okay, buran doesn't have stupid people. So stupid people will continue to be stupid and lose money. Buran, bullshit, there will be people who make money, people who lose money, okay? So let me clarify. Bull run will not save your stupidity. So for those who cakap macam tu, right? So and normally transaction go up first, then only price point will go up because there's a supply squeeze. Okay. So today, from a number of transaction point of view, we're really looking at a record high. There's a very strong possibility now, more than 50% possibility that 2024 will end as the best year. It's definitely top 3. But there's a very high possibility it's going to end as the best year ever in the history of Malaysia for a number of people looking to buy property. And you have to remember, first half, ringgit masih taik. Policy still tak bagus lagi. Now the sentiment towards Malaysia second half is very different. First half, people still thought there's a recession possibly. Second half, no such thing as a recession anymore. Everything is great, guys. Ringgit as a currency is improving. Just look at the investment for data centers from Tencent to all of these large companies that you can think of are all opening up data centers in Johor. Oh man, it's just crazy lah. So I just spoke to a CEO of public listed property developer who had no time to do new launch because busy with data center. Top 5, top 5. Too busy for new launch sebab too busy with data center. Every week now, he spends more than half of his time in Singapore talking to MNCs in Singapore, building data centers in Johor. Profitable lah. Confirm buat duit punya. Customer pay first, then only you baru bina tau. You jual property, you kena plan, wah, get it right everything, then do pre-launch, got people buy 80-90%, then only you make money, this one confirm make money.
Especially if you have land, then you tolong bina lagi.
Yeah. So far, there's a lot of big companies opening up data centers in Johor. Johor now is a data center hub for the region. When I say region, not for South region, Southeast Asia. Major player now. Right? So yeah, high-speed rail were to happen, then I think this buran will be quite significant lah. So I can say if you buy at median and below, I think you'll make 50 to 100% over 5 years. If you buy median and below lah, you buy above median cannot help you lah. Stupid. Sorry. Right? So you beli at peak, you beli above median, property buran cannot help you. Make you lose less money je. Maybe break even lah kalau laki. Okay?
Just a question. Last time's affordable homes were not so crazy on the previous bull run. Now with the amount of affordable homes in the market, right, will that somewhat like eats up certain level of demand that push up the heights of the prices? Because technically it also holds developer back from launching also. So that's one way that it's like even out the equation. That's why I thought also.
Yeah. Put it this way lah. When property buran happens, it simply means that everyone that owns property makes money. So when you make money on certain thing, it's just very hard for me to go and tell you, Sean, you make money on property, stop buying property. You will most likely do the opposite, you see? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You make money on 5 deals, you're not going to stop at 5 lah. You're going to continue. You're going to continue to go and chase the peak, right? So that's the mentality typically during bull run. So this has happened whether in crypto, it's happened in property, equity, same shit. It's just human behavior lah, repeated over and over again. You made a very interesting observation. Last time, no rumah murah, no rumah mampu milik. Okay? But the reason why there's no rumah mampu milik, because I think at that point of time, there's still a lot of property you can buy 300,000-400,000.
Yeah.
So today that 300,000-400,000 price point is only reserved for rumah mampu milik. Your private property can no longer be priced at that price point anymore. Right? Singapore, I think, is a good example, but obviously people can argue that Malaysia is not like Singapore, right? Whereby you got a very healthy number of public housing, cheap public housing. Yeah, at the same time, the private property continue to do well, right? So which is why, like I said, I think hopefully they announce high-speed rail in the next few months. That will put us in an international map. So when they do that, the number of people looking to invest in Malaysia will, I think, be triple or quadruple. Just that affiliation to Singapore.
Okay.
And we used to have this reputation as non-dependable in terms of delivering mega projects. I think we have shaken off that stigma. We've delivered TRX, we've gonna deliver RTS. So yeah, I think we're gonna have a golden year ahead lah, from both a view and property. So today people complain 500,000-600,000, not very affordable. You wait like 5 more years. I think the norm be 800,000.
Then now it makes way more obvious sense. Like if you can qualify for a government housing, a rumah Selangorku or rumah WIP, don't get it. Pay 100,000 more to get a below median price open project, right?
For sure. Because you're going to miss out completely on the buran. So by the time you're locking, your moratorium is over.
Open.
No more buran. And again, people think when they buy control housing, they can sell at whatever price they want after moratorium is over. Right? All it takes is one guy come and say, we can no longer afford to continue to buy. We're going to put controlled price point on all this subsidized housing. They're going to upset 10,000 people lah, who bought this property lah. But as you know, 10,000 people hardly move the needle lah when it comes to voting. Because I would agree to that simply because if you bought the property at a discount, you also have to sell the property at a discount. If Sean pays 600,000 to buy Bukit Jalil and you pay 300,000, when Sean sells his property for $1 million, you don't get to sell it at $1 million too. Right? You have to sell it at half price. Or maybe cap it at $500,000. Not to say you cannot make money, but I'm going to cap you. So that means there will be a perpetual supply of affordable housing, even though we don't even build a single new unit. To me, that's the most sustainable way moving forward. So HDB today allows HDB, right, to be priced at 1 million, 1.5 million. So even HDB today are no longer affordable in Singapore. Right? But when majority of your population stays in HDB and it's going to cost you a vote, you can't lah. Put it lah. Right? Here, I think we have an opportunity because the base is still. Yeah. So summary, buran already happened. Numbers are very clear. If HSR got announced, I think it's going to last for 5 to 7 years. And the next 2 to 3 years, I think you'll see a major clampdown happening and still doesn't deter people from buying, just like Singapore.
Yeah, sorry, I have a question because just now from Sean punya question, right, about the affordable housing will impact the buran. Most likely, the tier 1 probably it won't be impacted as much. Would you agree with that? Would tier 1 be having a better appreciation compared to the other areas because of this affordable housing?
Yep. Agree. No impact for tier 1. Maybe some impact for tier 2. You're right. Sorry.
Right, next question.
Okay, so next question. Bro, you talk about 7 criteria. Why you did not predict Desa Park City's outcome?
I think we've repeated that today multiple times. 7C can calculate what is quantifiable. So Desa Park City is a combination of you got scarcity, you got buran happening, right? You got a developer that controls the supply and able to go and execute the commercial element of the place perfectly, right? So, long story short, if what Desa Park City did was predictable, then Gamuda would have done it, Sunrise would have done it, Eco would have done it, SPCT would have done it, because they have got far bigger land banks than Desa Park City. So, it was a combination, and on top of that, it was located nearby old money. Right? So Sean mentioned, right? Very mature neighborhood with a lot of money, well created in the last 30 years. So when you offer them something new, something a bit more modern, people don't mind upgrading. Similar to City Alam. Yeah. Sabah Jaya despite having property comparable quality to Setia Alam, did not do as well simply because there's no one nearby that is upgrading to Cyberjaya. It's all plantation lah. Okay. So 7 criteria cannot predict an anomaly, a unicorn, right? So again, you have to also remember, I'm a value investor. Most of your panel here is value investor. We buy at the discount. We buy a certain margin of safety. Desa Park City has never been available at any margin of safety. It was always trading at a premium, right? So I'll give you a summary here that, you know who Warren Buffett is, right? Warren Buffett don't buy Tesla. He don't buy Google. Don't buy Facebook. Right? Doesn't mean that these companies are bad, but it just means that based on the skill set that he has, he is not able to go and quantify what is the value of these companies worth in the next 5, 10, 20 years. And we're going to miss out on deals like that, on all your unicorns and all your anomaly. And to me, it's fine. Because for every Desa Park City, there's also 99 other township that has got no chance of getting to what Desa Park City is. Even though they are building a comparable product, comparable lake. Right? So like I said, Desa Park City unique, you got KL address, freehold, big enough land to go and execute that. Developer has got the patience, being a private company and all that. Never been done before. It was a freak unicorn case. No one has predicted it. Even people who has invested 10 years, 15 years before me. So again, you can calculate certain things and you cannot calculate certain things, right? And again, I maintained this before lah. If you truly know Desa Park City is going to be Desa Park City, you will own 20 units there. All right? Bought from developer from day one. So if you want to buy the best property, for example, for sure in the next 20 years, from a capital gain point of view, I don't think we are the party lah. But you want to buy something which is predictable, all right? Then we are going to be the party lah, because I don't think our results has been, our results have been quite consistent. Yeah, in the last couple of years.
Best property. Industrial land.
Hot now.
Yeah. Correct. But again, industrial could only happen because we have decent policies today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say, right? Yeah. So again, it's luck. It's got nothing to do with you. Yeah, government did something well and suddenly Johor become a data center, then anyone owns industrial land in Johor, fatat already lo.
Well, if they own agricultural land, let's sue the industrial
Highest
land.
and best you can convert.
Yes.
Ooh, those was suddenly to the runtuh kau.
Yeah, but 10 years ago, 5 years ago, no such thing. Right? Not very desirable, not as hot as today. Today it became obvious. Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so moving to the next question. Hi, heard news of Park City having a new township project nearby Cyberjaya. Any thoughts about this being another potential unicorn development?
I just say about Cyberjaya. Why Cyberjaya as well? Despite having a better product compared to, for example, let's say Setia Alam lah. There's no old money nearby. Right? It's a completely new township. Just a lot of land. So in order for you to get what Setia Alam has or what Desa Park City has, you need old money to be nearby. You need a mature township, right? Whereby you got plenty of second generation all entering workforce. Cyberjaya is too young.
But I think Cyberjaya's landed developments are already doing exceptional. compared to the high rise. The high rise is like the auction fiesta kind of thing. But the landed developments is wow. Wow.
Yep. And pretty affordable too.
Okay, so next question. What do you all think of Nora in Desa Park City?
No stock already, too late. So no point discussing also. But I saw the plans 7 months before it was launched. So they were asking me, hey Sean, the marketing manager showed me I should have charged them consultancy, but I didn't. They were worried about the sizes being too small. Yeah, so I look at it, I say close eye lah. Just launch it lah. Sure got people buy one. Yeah lah.
To be honest, if they launch small, they're gonna have people buying. They launch very big, they're also gonna have people buying. Because people who can't buy the landed property anymore will buy
Yes.
1,000 square foot units. So
Because I think from a selfish point of view, I would have wanted to see the commercial data, like of the Arcadias, like those shop lots who bought 5 years ago, they flipped double.
really?
So yeah. So I have a buyer just shown that he let go of his Arcadia and he went and bought a shop lot in one of the new townships. They're like, you sure, bro? That one is Desa Park City, you know. Then why not this commercial game? I know how to play. Okay lah. Yeah, very good lah. I'm totally like not enough data to agree or not agree. But then they sold at a ridiculous price lah. Because Arcadia then is one of those very new concept where it's car free in the commercial lots. It's a very new concept. It was meant to fail, but then again it fits everyone's imagination. So I think that will be a very interesting study. Because now we can see a lot of new commercial areas who are going car free as well.
But it's different than Nora, right? Because Nora is under the service department compared to
Nora is a mixed development.
Yeah, so
Nora is a
it
mixed
value
development.
differently.
Yeah, so the Nura is expected to continue the commercial success. So what we don't see in Desa Park City right now is offices, and which is the biggest stumble block for all township developments. When all township build landed ready, build commercial ready, wants to build office, some more all handbrake. All handbrake. Because like what else can you do with the commercial land? They rather build hotels than to build offices.
I'm not really sure when on Nora on sub-sale market later whether they can make it or not. Today probably buying with developer, yes, small units. But what about sub-sale? Because the area is more prone to
big size.
families. And
Yeah, so I think a theory I had is big size one works for residential oriented addresses. Small sizes work for investment oriented addresses.
Yeah.
So that's why it's very interesting to really prove the theory. We've got really people die want to stay in Desa Park City, although they borderline can afford it. Will you pay 1,008 per square feet for a 500 square feet unit in Desa Park City? Sub-sale, some more. Oh, KLCC is like what, 1,000?
Yeah,
Oh, and no yield, no yield.
Yeah, Airbnb cannot do. Not it's not gonna work too over there.
Yeah.
So I always look at yield. That's the indicator. You can make it, then make it.
So the interesting here is that I also hopeful that I'm wrong, where the emotional side of the address, the branding side of the address really make people pay 1,008 just so that they can brag, I stay in Desa Park City.
Hmm.
Pavilion did it.
I think it will happen. I think it will happen.
Right?
Look, if we believe that the bull is coming, and we are now just at the beginning, whatever that we see now is just at the beginning. If they are selling at 1,002 and they can sell within a month, clearly people are thinking that it's very cheap.
Yeah.
So
It's still
they're gonna push
Yep.
that up to about 1,005. Then eventually, I think the last phase in Desa Park City, at the peak of the property bull run is probably going to be 1,008, 2,000.
It's still the cheapest thing in the address that you can buy. It's like you go LV, you buy the keychain.
Okay.
It's the cheapest thing that you can buy that is branded.
Card holder.
Or card holder, right?
Card holder. Cannot afford the wallet or the bag, right? But card holder, LV, huh?
People will still pay one.
Make sense?
So doesn't mean it's wrong, just that it's one of a kind. Again, a unicorn only. So that also kind of answers the previous answer that can they repeat what is in Cyberjaya? Because development is not it's not only a hardware thing. You want lake, you want high rise, you want roads, you want trees, you want things. It's not a hardware thing. It's a software kind of thing. People, population, culture, human being, perception, all this kind of thing.
True. So those are things whereby, again, it's not going to be very easy for you to measure. But they've got a pretty good chance of doing so, simply because they control the township 100%.
Yep.
And looks like things are going to slow down. Right?
Cool.
Next one.
Okay, so this is the last question of the day. Right. How did you start before Far Capital and your ability for bulk purchase belum wujud? Some just wondering.
Oh, ini tu, Faizul. Read his book the WTF book.
I mean, at that point of time, you just buy market price, bro. So there's no unfair advantage. You don't get cheaper price point. You got no one doing the study. You rely on forums, and it's like little bit of a herd mentality at that point of time. I guess my only unique ability here is that I don't listen to forum I study there, tapi I don't listen to what the majority of the herd is saying Because if majority all agree on one thing and then you also follow, what is the result you're gonna get? You're gonna get exactly the same as per the majority, right? So at that point of time, I just buy at market price. I just buy at regular developer price. I don't have any unfair advantage, right? But you just make sure that you buy below median, right? So for example, one of the rules that I've been following all the while here is that, am I the cheapest guy in the area? Right? I might buy at market price, but is my unit the cheapest in the area? And if the answer is yes, okay, I go for it. And that methodology has served me quite well. Then I've got a property buran, then, I made 5 million and then I started Far Capital. So today, unlike when I started, when we buy property, we really buy the cheaper price point. Like literally, we really buy the cheaper price point. Cyberjaya tak pernah ada property below 200,000 in the last 15 years. We got it this year. Right? We are continuing to buying Johor Bahru, Medini, Iskandar at below 400 ringgit per square foot. And we're the only party is doing that today. Right? So last time I play alone, I have certain theory. Right? And I execute my theory. So today I'm no longer playing alone. I'm playing with 30,000 of our clients. I'm playing with all of you. Right? We all play together. And when we go to developer at 50, 100 unit, we're a little bit more formidable. Right? So we have a bit leverage. All right? So Q4, for example, is an interesting quarter. This week alone, I've been getting calls to go do deals and, whatever deal and Sankut in the last 9 months, all suddenly looking to happen this quarter. So quarter 4 is the quarter whereby developer needs to meet sales target for the year. See?
Yes.
The level of desperation is a bit higher. So yeah, we things are looking quite interesting. So last time I play alone, I have certain theory, I buy market price. So today I no longer play alone, I play with all of you. Right? So I still have the same market theories, right? In fact, it's gotten a lot better, it's gotten a lot safer compared to last time because of all the learning and the fuck up that we did, right? So we learn lah. So result has been a lot more accurate today. But now I have a much bigger advantage, which is now we got volume. Got 50, 100 buyers, 400 buyers behind us. So it's easier to get better price point, easier to get better terms, easier to get the best units. Right? Which is why today, Bukit Bintang, right? We've got people buying and today they are getting almost 10% rental yield kat Bukit Bintang. Because we bought 50% discount last year. Right? We bought Maluri almost 10, 7-8% rental yield. It's quite crazy. We buy kat Johor pun now, some of the units are getting close to 10% rental yield. Right? So, life is better when you do things together. Right? Rather you do it alone. That's what I learned, especially in this game.
Okay, all right. So then, kata penutup before we finish. Yay!
Yay.
Hey, finally, I think this is like the earliest Battle Royale we ended. So 3 jam je. Wow. So this is like property Bura punya saying lah. Buat sekali ganda je, 300,000 je.
Oi.
So ni lah dia punya je. So first and foremost, thank you everyone for joining tonight. I hope you learned something new. I want to thank the panelists too, Albi and Zairi for preparing, of course, Sean for providing his wonderful insights as usual. And we've received a lot of very good remarks towards our Battle Royale. I've not seen even one negative one so far, right? So very thankful.
Really? All
Yeah.
positive?
So far lah, I mean face to face lah. Face to face, it's like everyone, hey, I love your Battle Royale, I love your Battle Royale, I love your Battle Royale. Right, very insightful.
Because online, I know.
Oh, is it lah?
Then why you review this?
Tak pasti tak ada lah.
I mean, very simple lah. You guys think you can do better, fuck, do it lah. I know you can't. So for me, you can only talk shit je kat online. So typical lah. Dak Twitter, dak forum ni dirty comment je tapi tak kerti buat pun. Beli property pun tak untung. You can buy cheaper in Cyberjaya, duit. You can buy cheaper than Mount Kera, duit. Tak payah sembang-sembang, right? So for me, but for the rest of the people, I think a lot of people benefited from Battle Royale. Right? Has generally benefited from Battle Royale. And will hopefully continue to go and do it. So do let us know which area that you think we should cover next. Right? Which area you think we should cover next. So there are a couple of interesting areas coming as part of the proposal. But yeah. Continue to support us, continue to share. Yeah.
Yeah lah. When I agreed to be your guest, right, I thought it was a 2 weeks thing.
It's already a 10th episode.
Yeah, but now is there is this an extended series or season 1, season 2? Is this going to be perpetuity?
I think we'll do it until we cover all of the areas.
Holy shit.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. No, I'm okay. They just appear. I think the research team will die.
I mean, it's part of the KPI for the next 18 months. So we've got at least a plan for 18 months of Battle Royale.
Ooh, I am so sorry, LB and Larry.
Okay, I'll work hard towards it. First, I want to
Go,
apply
go,
one
go.
month of leave.
I feel sorry. We are creating jobs. We're adding a lot of value.
Okay.
Larry now become Malaysia famous already. Right? So out of nowhere, right? So yeah. So I don't think it's a negative thing, and I think we'll continue to add value. like I said lah, I think property bull-run will happen. There'll be a lot of not so sanity behavior. And we're hoping Battle Royale can provide some level of sanity.
It's so cool to look back at this 6 months, 1 year from now.
And it's also very interesting and do the research and see the launch yields wise. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah, so there's no one know more about the area than these two now, right? So if they know how to utilize that, it will be a very powerful tool lah. Okay.
Cool.
Good night, everyone. Thank you again for joining us tonight. We look forward and seeing you in the next Battle Royale, hopefully in 2 weeks' time. Assalamualaikum. Good evening. Have a good week ahead, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.